Russ Martin Show.
Anybody ask you about the bar over
all weekend? Yeah, first thing out of everybody's mouth. Did he get the bar? No, we're just a couple short. A couple people short.
We're more than a couple short.
15?
15's more, actually 17's more than a couple.
Okay. Well, still, that's close.
What did I say?
You said 300 or nothing. I know.
And we actually sat down Sunday, because I was ready. I wanted to make sure that I'd covered all the bases, because I didn't drop some cash on this just to get that far.
Yeah.
Legal fees and having people, an attorney go over the VIP membership thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a meeting Sunday, broke down the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do this? According to the numbers, we couldn't. Even cutting back on everything.
Whatever money you put into it ever, you know you were going to get back.
I ain't getting nothing back.
Well, I mean, you would. If you at one point you talked about just taking out a loan for it. Oh.
Excuse me.
What are you eating?
I don't know what it is. I ran out of beans, so whatever it is, I got now.
Lovely. They're very...
They don't really stink, they're just loud.
They're very loud.
I wouldn't keep spraying them like that.
Why?
Because it'll just piss them off.
No.
I just got a nasty email from Austin.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind taking another RV trip down there if you're serious.
Yeah, let me read this. I recently discovered your radio program on Austin's 104.3. Never in my life have I heard such filth, hate, and bigotry. You are also relentless in hassling and badgering people for your own amusement. You, Russ, if that's your real name. I know how you radio guys like to use wacky names.
Yeah.
Espouse nonstop hate and filth for Orientals, retards, women, Jews, Negroes. Want to say anything about the Jews?
I don't know.
All right.
You know how people in radio use zany names. God knows what you're doing.
Yeah.
Russ.
And anyone else that may cross your path. It's amazing you're paid to be such a bigot. This country has no place for liberals like you.
Liberal?
Huh.
You would be a conservative.
Yeah, I thought conservatives were more apt to be racist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe you're right.
Traditional views.
No. No.
I bet you'd like to see this country overthrown with a John Kerry election, right? Well, now they're just jacking me.
Okay.
With that said, please let this email serve as official notice that I'm notifying 104.3 Management, your advertisers, and the FCC. I hope you go down in flames and live among the other people you hate so much. Rest assured, I will not stop until you off the airwaves. Sincerely, Ernest Polanski.
Uh-oh.
P.S. I can tell from listening that J.D. does not like what you do and wants desperately, but this is a hose. Let me check the email. Hotmail or Yahoo?
That's going to be Yahoo.
It is Yahoo. Concerned Republican Texas at yahoo.com. There's hyphens in there, so don't bother emailing him. It's just another anonymous drive-by.
Drive-by.
Yeah. I feel sorry for him and will view this crusade as a liberation of J.D.'s soul and life. He deserves better. Yeah, that's a hose. Okay. We're happy to have you, Ernest Polanski. It was just reminding me something. All right. You ready to go?
What did it remind you of?
Nothing. I just left out a group.
No.
I'm sorry, Michelle. Go ahead.
I was just, telling them that you made my day yesterday a whole lot easier.
Why is that?
Well, I had an EMG done on my arm where they stick needles in you and they shock you.
What are they shocking you for?
To see if I had nerve damage.
What happened?
Cardiologist clipped my nerve when he was going in to put a stent in one of my arteries.
Okay.
But also I wanted to tell you, you act like you're really narcissistic, but you can't be, because if you can shed tears on the phone, on the open mic when a fireman or a police officer loses his life in the line of duty, you cannot be as narcissistic as you think you're putting out to be.
Sure I can. I can support police and fire and screw dead people all week.
No,
no, you can't.
That's necrophilia, not narcissism.
I know what it is. Well, I'm not sure what you said, but it sounded very nice and heartfelt, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, I really appreciate you, too. I listen to you every day, and I love you.
How old are you?
Too old for you.
Well, I'm just asking. How old are you?
I'm in my early 50s.
Oh. And you're already getting would you say a stent?
Stent, yeah. It runs in the family. Heart trouble runs in the family. My father died when he was 48.
What's your prognosis?
I have severe heart disease. I probably got maybe 8 or 9 years left. I don't know.
Well, that sounds like plenty. Gotta go.
The Russ Martin Show.
We're not starting the show till he finds it.
Oh, please. That's certainly not critical to today's performance.
2 of those cans of Skull are mine.
So?
Still can't find it?
No.
How do you fire off the Amber Alert?
First of all, you can't, and you certainly can't do it for Skull. It's here somewhere. It'll show up.
Did you bring it in here?
I thought I did.
We'll survive. It'll be okay. Everybody
Shut your hole.
What is it, Chloe?
That was him.
Shut your hole.
Oh, yeah.
What he said.
You care, Dan. Lord.
All right, JD, you take the parking lot.
No, I'm not going anywhere. It will show up. It was in here. It'll be here. It's probably on his desk somewhere under that pile of stuff.
Did you bring it in here with you today, or did you have it with you over the weekend?
No, I brought it in today.
Okay, good.
And I was excited because I have like all different flavors.
Why you want to do that?
Got some citrus, some apple, mint. Apple? Yeah.
You haven't had the apple?
No, it's good.
Yeah. What the hell with this?
What? Where are you going?
Going along.
This music's going to run out.
Well,
Hey, Dan, how was your weekend?
I'm going to help him.
Oh, you go ahead. Chloe and I'll sit here and be sick with each other. I got a stomach virus. What do you have?
just stomach issues.
All right. Nothing. You
going to help us look?
No, I don't care if you find it or not. She's screaming for Gavin.
I didn't see it.
I never saw him bring anything in. Okay.
What?
Here's Russ. Nothing.
You didn't bring what in?
I didn't see him bring it in. I never saw the bag of the skull. It's okay. It's all right. It'll show up. What are you doing?
That's all right. I got to throw down a can.
There you go.
Trey, you want some of this while we wait?
Show.
To take off the edge while we wait. While we wait for what? For it to show up?
Should we file a report?
I think you should.
I'm not kidding. How do you fire all this Amber Alert?
Don't. You don't. They have to fire it off from another radio station. We don't send them out. We just receive them.
I think we can fire this off.
No, we can't. No, there's one station in the market that fires
and
them
then we
off.
rebroadcast.
We rebroadcast it. But it has
Can
to
we
be.
fire an Amber alert off with this?
Not for school first. No.
Unfortunately, from our EAS system, that only sends out the stuff we get from the other station.
From BAP?
Yeah.
Call them.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that phone conversation.
No.
I need to report a civil emergency.
How many cans was in the bag?
6.
Oh, for God's sake.
There's a lot of happiness in there.
A lot of spit.
Yes.
All right. Well, put the lid back on the can I just give you. Don't let it dry out. Buffoon. Also, John, if you're sick, why don't you go home?
I don't have a fever. I just have a stomach virus. Joy was at my house all weekend. She had the flu. I made her stay upstairs, sprayed her with the Lysol.
With the power washer?
Pissed her off. I walked in the room.
Why did you let her come over? She had the flu.
Well, she was already in my house on Friday.
Then you shoosh her away.
I tried to shoosh her away. She got pissed off. I was there to take care of you when you had your shoulder surgery. I am so sick. Just rip them out of my sockets. I'm tired of hearing about it.
Take both arms and go.
I'm so sorry. I'm tired of hearing about that. Yes, so I took care of it.
Well, plus, since we just missed a week from being sick.
I totally agree. That's what I told her. I sprayed everything she got near, and she got pissed off. Quit spraying. It smells bad. So does the vomit when I get the flu.
Was she yakking?
She didn't get sick. No, she did have the fever off and on all weekend, and then I shooshed her home yesterday.
How'd you get rid of her Sunday?
Because it was Easter. She had to go home with her kid. They have a big Easter deal they do every year at their house.
Yeah, we had one at my house.
What'd you do?
Amy's family came over.
Oh, have fun.
No.
Why? Why was that not fun? You like them. They like you.
I don't like the kids.
Oh, they were kids. How old?
I don't know. They mumbled. So either they were 4 or 5 or they were all retarded.
Okay. They didn't speak?
Oh, they did, but it wasn't understandable. So again, either they're very young or they were all retarded.
Do we have an Easter egg hunt?
Yes.
How is that?
It went, forever.
Once again,
what?
I was gonna say, once again, they're either very young
or yeah. And we didn't. We used the
plastic.
But they were foil.
Oh, okay.
They were all shiny, all over the place. You could have been at your BAC could have been half of your blood, and you still could have found them. You little retards couldn't. I'd stand by them and go, "Hey."
I know you have to do that with the little ones. This is the first year I haven't gone out to her hometown and done it. Like 10 families.
What's your incentive to go and do that?
There isn't one. To be polite and kind and go out and pretend like I want to be there.
But the Easter egg hunt isn't for you.
No, it's for the kids. And we go out. I help hide them, and she makes all the confetti eggs. You saw those.
Oh, yeah, we had those. I don't know why anybody brought the confetti eggs, but that was funny to them. Busted them all over the house.
Yeah.
All out. What do you mean, yeah?
Little kids love that.
I got to clean that up.
They don't think that.
Little kids didn't think to bust all of the confetti eggs and then go fetch a broom.
No.
So they're all over the house, all over the yard.
Should be in there.
And it's not just the confetti, it's also the eggshell, which Twiggy was very helpful at finding all of them. So then, after all the retards collected their eggs, somebody suggested, let's hide them again.
Why?
Just so they could have the entire hunt all over.
You only do this once. No, you don't do that.
They started putting them back in the yard. I went, I'll drown them. I'll hide. Yeah, give me the eggs. I'll take care of hiding them this time.
Yeah, let me guess where they
Let's
go.
all head out to Highway 26. There's a nice big grassy median out there. They'll be easy to find.
Your basket needs to stay on the shoulder. And you're not back and forth to get the eggs.
That's the safest way to do it.
It's a nice little relay race.
Yeah. What, Trey?
Whose kids were these?
I don't know.
Well, she's got brothers and sisters, right?
Must have been theirs.
So, your Uncle Russ.
I didn't talk to any of them. I just drank.
A lot.
Because you've got just a plethora of kids running back and forth. Loud.
That's what children do. It's Easter. It's once a year. It's a party.
They're not my kids. I didn't have kids for a very, very specific reason. I don't like them.
you like?
I don't like kids. I don't want to be around them for any reason at all.
Thank you, Mr. Umpire.
And there must have been... How many seats in Texas Stadium?
Oh, come on. There weren't that many kids.
There was close to 60,000.
No, there weren't. How many kids did you really have?
60,000.
2, 3. 3 can seem like a lot. I will grant you that. There's something exponential that happens with children. 1 is fine. 2 ain't so fine. 3's out of control. I don't know how it does that, but it really does.
What do I get for 9? Because I think that's how many there were.
9? You got a nice week off in the Bahamas. Are you serious?
Yeah. 9
children?
Isn't that like Texas Stadium?
With children, it is.
It's a baseball team.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
And when they started re-hiding the eggs, I looked at Amy and went, the Easter event has now come to a close. Or I'm going to get out the gun. Who wants to find these? Just nonstop. They from the instant they got there, because it wasn't just show up, go find the eggs, and then get the hell out.
No, it's an all-day event.
We got to show up. We got to color some of the eggs because they got to have stuff to do. Okay. We got to decorate the cupcakes, which I even left for an hour after everybody got there, thinking, all right, I did all the cooking.
Sure, got all the food, everything's ready,
which I wasn't supposed to do. Amy said, do you mind if family comes over Sunday? We'll do it early. We'll do it right after church. They'll all be gone soon. I'll take care of everything. So it's about 11:30. Ain't nobody back to start cooking food. And I thought, if they start when they get here, they're going to be here for a week.
At least all day.
So I had everything done. I didn't think to do the cupcakes.
No.
And they're still messing around with those when I came back from my respite. Where are you going? I'm going to get gas in the Middle East. Take pictures.
Kids are fun. Easter's great.
There was no part of it that was fun. Which part was fun? You tell me why.
Well, as a daddy, it used to be fun. If it's your kids, it's fun. If it's not your own kids, you're right. It's nothing. That's why I quit going to her hometown, just because it's 10 families and they all bring those little things with them, children.
At what age do they start speaking normally?
Should be 2 or 3. 2.
Well, then they were all retarded.
Well, if they were 18 months, maybe, then it's.
No, they were all about that tall.
Oh, my
How old
Lord.
was that?
That's about 6.
Okay.
Or 7.
Then I had a house full of mongoloids.
Yeah, they should more than speak correctly at that age.
I could have set the eggs on fire, and they wouldn't have been able to find them.
They just get excited. They just run around in circles. It's a big deal to kids. Did you guys never do that when you were a kid? Easter?
I was a kid.
Yeah.
I wanted to be there. I wanted to go find the eggs.
They just get excited, and they run right over them.
Were they hyped up on sugar and...
They had cupcakes.
I'm sure they had some candy.
Cakes and candy.
Oh, yeah. And...
What?
I don't... Stop. I don't know what... Why do you hide eggs for them to go find if, before everybody gets started, they get pre-wrapped Easter baskets with crap already in them? There. You got your basket. We'll be leaving. You already got all the stuff you need. What?
That should be after. That's kind of your treat for going to get all the eggs.
Yeah.
No, they got all of it first, and they're eating the little Cadbury eggs.
Hype it up on sugar. Oh, my God. No. Normally you get that at the end, if you get it at all.
Yeah, and then you save, like, if there's some kid that doesn't get anything at all and is upset, you usually give them something special. Yeah.
The sympathy basket?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
It was like, it literally, it was like the Special Olympics of Easter egg hunts. Egg. I'd stand next to one and point. Egg.
I've done it, too.
Egg. Egg. Egg.
You think you get
nothing.
When you go to hide them, you put them on top of a post. You think, okay, that's easy to see. Then if the kids are running around in circles, you stand by and go, egg! All right, I'm going to quit being so cute. Put them on the ground.
And I told a couple of them, I went, some of the eggs are brown.
Oh, no. Russell.
Elongated, if you'll pick those up for me. There's some cash in it for you.
Those are special eggs. Bring me a basket of those.
Those came from the Easter Chihuahua. One of them found some in the back, and Amy starts screaming at him not to pick it up.
No.
told him I'd give him cash.
That's not the point. They're not supposed to be picking up dog do.
What is it, man?
You should have gone back out there instead of actually poop scooping. You just take like a nice fine spray paint can and just dye the turd. Yeah.
God. At least that would have been worth it sitting out there watching, because, you know, sooner or later, one of them's going to squeeze a nice Easter turd.
Twiggy have a big day.
We put all the dogs in the bedroom, just so they wouldn't have to deal with the kids.
It's fun when you're the daddy. It's not so much fun if they're not your kids and you don't even know them.
I can't stay in a relationship if we're going to have to continue these family events. I don't stay in touch with my family for a reason.
Well, she loves her family, and they have kids.
I don't love them. I don't know them. I don't like them.
Did they come over at Christmas?
I don't remember. This was too horrific.
I understand. It's blocked everything previous.
Speaking of family, how's your dad?
Had a stroke about 1.5 years ago.
Have you not checked on him? Talked to your brother?
When something bad happens, they'll tell me. They told me when he had the stroke.
Does your mom get a progress report?
I don't know. I don't ask. I don't talk to her. She didn't come over for Easter. I don't know where she is. Possibly she passed in the night.
Oh, Russell, you know where she is. You're paying for it.
I haven't heard from her. As far as I know, she died in the apartment and the flies are here. Little black angels come down.
Do I need to email her and go over and check on her?
Yes.
Have you not checked on her? Because I will. I will go over there.
Yes, please.
Okay, I will.
Check on my dad as well.
I don't know where he is.
I don't either.
Yes, you do.
He's someplace in Garland, some rehab center.
Does your mother know where he is?
Probably.
I'll ask
She's
her.
a nosy bitch. Ask her.
I'll ask her and I'll go check on him for you.
So you're sure you're not sick? Because I can't be out for another week.
I'm not contagious of anything. I just have a stomach thing. As does Chloe.
Are you sick?
Just in the stomach.
No fever?
No fever. No, nothing with fever. Just
If I had
sinuses and
fever, I
stomach.
wouldn't come up here.
Do I need to bring a thermometer up here every day? Check, make sure everybody's kosher?
All right, everyone line up, bend over.
Yeah.
Gotta be thorough.
No, we don't. No, we don't need that. I checked before I left. I have no fever. I haven't thrown up since last night. I'm good.
Well, I feel better.
You have a present.
I do.
You have a present. You ready?
From?
This is a listener that brought this. I've been emailing back and forth with him for about a week.
All right.
You ready?
Yes. Yeah. Wow.
I didn't believe it until I saw it.
This is in good condition.
Yeah, he has a thermos to go with it. He'll bring it up. Lunchbox.
Why didn't he leave the thermos with it?
Because he brought it up and didn't have a thermos. I don't know. He said he'd bring it.
Roy Clark lunchbox. Who's that?
That's Buck Owens.
Was he on there?
Because he was part of Hee Haw.
Oh.
It's a Hee Haw lunchbox. I look at those people. I've seen them on TV. I can't name half of them. You know
Okay. That's Junior Samples.
Yeah.
That's that fat bitch that was on there.
She's dead.
Is she? Mm-hmm. That's sad. There's the picking and grinning, guys.
Yeah.
Guy that did the news.
Yep, the news guy with the beard. I think the chick on the bottom is the one that's dead. Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
I forget her
that
name.
one.
When's my thermos coming?
I don't know.
What the hell is that skull?
I don't know.
During the break, we're spreading out.
Okay, we'll all go look. Also,
Breaking two.
All right.
Speaking of Easter emails, I can't believe you forced Gavin on Friday to ingest meat. It was Good Friday. Just when I thought you couldn't treat him any worse, you try to force him to go against his Catholic beliefs. Whether or not you succeeded doesn't matter. The thought and actions were completely disrespectful.
It's not going to challenge his beliefs just because we shoved meat in his beehole.
Some people think it was pretty serious.
Why?
They take that very seriously. On Good Friday, you don't eat meat, and you don't get it ingested any other way.
It was
forced by your friend.
It was forced on him. So if you gave it up and it's forced on you, I think God's going to probably cut you a deal.
I don't understand that at all, anyone. I really don't. I'm sorry. Are you going to hell because you had a rib? As you said on Friday. What are you in for?
No, in hell.
Yeah,
I killed an entire neighborhood.
Yeah. And sugar babies.
You what?
I had sugar babies.
For lunch?
Yeah, I had some ribs.
Plus, Dan, tell him what you shoved in his ass. Fish stick.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see it. It was all over there on the floor. I couldn't tell what he was doing.
So Gavin can still get into heaven.
Okay.
It was just a nice sleight of hand. Gavin comes in, Russ shakes, like a piece of meat or whatever it was at him, and then in Gavin's craziness, he thinks it's the meat.
I didn't see it either.
We just had a.
Now, can Catholics have breading because they were breaded?
Yes, I believe they can.
Gavin, you're in the clear.
Oh, gee, thanks. I'm not going to hell.
You were concerned about the meat in your hole.
Well, yeah. Anytime I get meat in my hole, I'm concerned, especially on Good Friday.
It's a fish stick.
Well, I didn't know it was a fish stick at the time.
Well, ask.
I can't decipher what's meat and what's fish.
Well, come in here and we'll run you through a battery test.
No.
What does that feel like?
I'm a blindfold over your mouth.
I'm talking about his mouth.
I know.
No.
And what's the... what were you trying to tell me when I was walking in about David Henry?
Oh, that's ridiculous.
What were you trying to tell me?
I got a voicemail from him. He's just like when I was talking about Friday about you not caring about this. He left me a voicemail and he wants answers.
What is it I don't care about?
The
I had the window fixed for engineering.
Okay.
That was fixed. The next morning?
Yeah, next morning before 8:30.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was asking me about something else that you do.
What?
Let me bring it in.
Do you know what this is?
I have no idea. I was at the Stars game Saturday, and at the end of the game, I look over, and I believe Gavin was crying.
Why were you crying? Fish stick gets stuck.
Because they collapsed.
The Stars?
Yeah, 2.5 minutes left. They're up 2-1. They lose 4-2.
I might have had something in my eye, Trey. You don't know.
You were crying.
Were you twisted?
We're going through such a tough stretch right now. It's not even funny.
How many players are out?
Just Sergei Zubov right now. But we're just not winning. We're not putting the puck in the net. We're not playing strong defense.
That'll lose a game for you every time.
That's some strong analysis.
They're going out west this week, yeah.
I heard coming in on KLLI, somebody was doing analysis on the Mavericks now that, is it Nowitzki?
Yeah.
Now that he's out because of his ankle injury, they said if the rest of the team bumps their game up,
no,
they got a good chance at winning.
But you just get that ball in that hoop.
No, they don't. They weren't winning with him.
It's still the analysis.
I know, you're
Everybody
right.
else bumps up their game, then we got this one made. And I think this is somebody that KLLI pays to do analysis. Do you know who that is?
Well, probably Roger Emmerich, our afternoon anchor.
No, it wasn't the normal guy. It was somebody else.
You might have been one of our reporters, sure.
Very insightful. If we play good, we could win. Are they doing the playoffs right now?
No, they got about 7 more games.
Because Cuban was going to come on this week and pitch, I don't know what he was going to whore out, HDNet or whatever, and I got an email from him today. He said, I got other things I got to deal with Dirk out. By the email, it sounded like he was upset, and not just because he lost a player. I think he likes Nowitzki. What, Trey?
Oh, he does. But yeah, you could tell Cuban, just this last stretch of games, and they lost all 3, and he looked almost as dejected as Gavin did Saturday.
So where are the Stars right now?
The Stars are in 5th place in the Western Conference. 8 teams make it.
Can they pull out of this?
Yeah. Yeah. Next game's Thursday against San Jose, who's the hottest team in the league right now. I knew you were going to think I'm crazy.
We already did, Ben.
I think I need to go out to the West Coast.
To live?
No.
Are they playing in California?
They play San Jose Thursday night.
Gavin, you were at the game Saturday, so I really think your notion of being a good luck charm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Why don't you dress up like a rabbit's foot and go?
No. No.
I'll buy your airline ticket if you'll do that.
No. No. For one of those goals, I went up to get some water. So I take full responsibility for that.
I don't know what that means. I don't really care.
I wasn't in my seat when they scored.
But you were for the other two.
Yeah. Hey, listen, team's not playing well right now.
Do I have time to listen to this David Henry thing or no?
Yes.
Do I?
This is all you, by the way.
You going to tell me what it's about, or is it explanatory?
Hey, it's very explanatory.
Okay. Here he comes.
Hey, do you know what the all this brown is all over one of the plants in the lobby? Call me back.
End of message.
A little muffled. I don't think I got it.
I did.
Hey, do you know what the all this brown is all over one of the plants in the lobby? Call me back.
End of message.
Well,
What?
this is exactly what we're talking about with the building. You know exactly what that is.
I'm at a loss. Drawing a blank.
Oh,
Not in right now. This window's closed.
Yes.
what do you like to do and what do you like to put in plants?
Miracle Grow?
No.
Nitrogen.
Yeah.
No. He obviously came through the front lobby off vacation and he saw your brown dip in those plants.
Is that when we're rehearsing? You
At band practice?
Yeah.
I don't have time to carry a cup around when we're doing band practice. It's not a real plant. Take it outside, hose it off.
So it's my responsibility to hose off your spit.
Did he call me?
No, he won't call you. He'll call me. That's exact.
Then I'd get a watering can.
Ah,
That's been out there for a month. How come he's just now seeing it?
I don't know.
That's right. He don't come to work. And that's better than a time clock to prove how little he's here.
Yeah.
He had seen that the day he walked in.
Over a month ago, yeah.
What is it, Gavin?
it all comes back to me when it should be you.
I could be spitting out bales, and he'd never see it.
Well, he saw that, so he's wondering what it is. What would you like me to tell him?
Why is he coming to work? Did he give up free time for Lent?
No.
Do we need a break? Yeah. Everybody spread out and go find that freaking skull.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
Gail. Hello, Gail.
Hello, Russ.
What do you got?
WGN, the Superstation. In traffic on Dallas, westbound I-30 before Dolphin. You got the two right lanes blocked by a wreck and traffic backed up to Jim Miller. Also on what should be the light side, westbound 175 at St. Augustine in Pleasant Grove, there's a crash. On southbound, 35 Stemmons from Market Center to Industrial in the Mixmaster, stop and go traffic. On 114 westbound at Beltline, you got a motorcycle wreck on the on-ramp to the highway. Loop 820 southbound at Pipeline, there's a crash. You're backed up to 183. And then northbound Inwood, past Northwest Highway, there's an accident. You got road work in Irving on 161 southbound from Las Colinas Boulevard to 114 on the right lane. They should have that picked up in about an hour. I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
Thank you, Gail. All right, mid-40s for the low tonight, and then beautiful 72 and 80 and 82 the next couple of days. We're at 63 now at Live 105.3.
Who's it you're bitching about getting emails from?
Oh, it's just one of these services that they put me on the list. They're pitching guests. I write back very nicely, please remove me. And this is the one I'm having a problem with. She writes back, Well, it says on the website that you are a good PR contact.
Whose website?
There is obviously some mothership somewhere that has me listed as a website for, this one is presidential candidates and the drug epidemic. Where do they stand? Would you like to talk to this person? No. This is the kind of stuff I get all day. So I just write back, please remove me. That's all I said. It says you're a good PR contact. You cover breaking local, national, international news, human interest stories, and current events. I wrote back, we do not. Thank you. He writes back, then update your info, please. I'm about to... Not my job to update. Take me off. Just remove me from your little list. One by one, I get them cleared out. I'd have to do this about twice a year. We get on some mothership list, and I get just a blast of emails.
It's some media company, because I went through this 2 or 3 years ago, that goes through, they compile all this information, and then they send it out to subscribers. Here's who you contact for all these different stations. I had one guy, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. They emailed me. I said, and I didn't start off by being a dick. I just said, I'm not the contact for this information. Could you take me off this mass email list? I get back from him. No can do. You're listed as a media contact from this service. I went, you take me off, or I'm going to get you more response than you really wanted.
Yeah.
Because I love PR.
Oh, I remember this guy. This is a couple years ago. Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah. Gave out their website, gave out all the email addresses. All of a sudden, he wasn't big on exposure. And I'm not sure, was McNeil here or was it Gavin?
I want to say...
Whoever it was, they called the PD.
Yeah.
And it had to be Gavin because McNeil wouldn't have been here. No. He'd have been on the course. I said, I don't want this type. I don't want our website or anything else on the air. You already said you did. I printed out the email, so when it came back on you...
You want publicity.
Sorry, you asked for it. I got this one for free.
Most of them aren't dicky like this. Most of them just say, done, thank you. They just remove you.
So you've already given her a couple of chances?
We've gone back and forth 3 or 4 times now. The last one I just got during the break. It said, please update the info then.
Well, now you can give out our email address.
Okay.
It says on your website, right?
Mm-hmm.
You email this, it can be read on the air.
Yes.
Read it.
floatinggal1@AOL.com. The number 1.
I didn't have a pen. Hold on.
Sorry.
What is it?
Floating gal, the number 1@AOL.com. She wants to know if you want to talk about presidential candidates in the drug epidemic.
My pen is out of ink.
Does she think Bush is on dope?
Yeah, apparently. Let me look down here what it says. The presidential campaign is in full swing, and while you'll hear the Clinton, Obamas, and McCain talk endlessly about Iraq, healthcare, and abortion, and legal, you get the idea. It just goes on and on. Because she's pitching somebody.
Okay, I got it.
Book.
Trey's got his pen ready now.
Sure, it's floating, as a boat does, floating, gal, the number 1@AOL.com.
2 G's?
Just the 1 G. That's G at the end of floating, and then G.
That's 2 G's.
That's 2 G's then.
All right. I give it about 5 minutes.
Imagine I'll get a response. You're off! Get off!
She's not going to know where it came from initially. Did you know there's more YouTube video of the band from the last White Trash Party?
I figured some would show up. But
I can't get audio.
No.
But it's on YouTube. Gavin talks to Nokia. Don't tell him to give us audio. No. Just tells him we want video. We don't want anything else. And you would think, really being in radio, Gavin would be more concerned with sound.
Yeah, initially that would strike me.
Here's part of Gavin's La Bamba. Horns sound okay?
Yeah. Sound great.
Right now it's just Chris from Vert Biz. Now here come the rest of the horns now. Shut up! This guy got to sing through the entire song?
Only audio we have. Only audio we have. We have the drunk guy singing along with it.
Oh, you want to hear a drunk guy sing?
Uh-huh. Sure.
Are you with the show today? You're listening to something else?
I'm totally with you. No, I'm just trying to think who else is drunk that would be singing.
Oh, there's no need for this.
praying.
Praying what?
That no one recorded this.
How drunk were you, Dan?
Unfortunately, I wasn't. For whatever reason, any little bit of alcohol I had, I was drinking so much water that I was peeing every 10 minutes. By the time I got on stage, I was like, well...
Why were you pacing yourself?
Mainly because I had the Baby Dolls appearance afterwards.
Oh, okay. Trey, are you holding a bottle on stage?
A little one. That's after I shoved like 3 in my pocket.
That's after you put your drink down that you had in the cup. Because I took it from you and you had 3 more bottles in your hand.
Why do you have to be drunk just to repeat Dan?
I just needed to be drunk.
Yeah, I could hear this in the back when I was changing outfits. It looked really good on paper.
The one at what was the other one? House of Blues.
House of Blues
was better.
Yeah, you know why? I wasn't on stage.
Yeah, but you're not singing that much. They don't seem to be following along, the crowd.
No,
Are you supposed to go to the yada-datas there?
No. Well, and actually, most of that was from the people on the stage, too, because everyone on the stage started going into the datas.
Yeah.
So I just was like, okay, well.
Yeah, I think we'll just cut that number out.
That might be a good idea.
What is this?
I was trying to remember where it was.
What is it, Flo?
I said, oh, man. You got to keep that in.
Well, if the crowd got into it, then we'll leave it in.
Yeah, the crowd got into it. Everybody got into it.
I was going to see if Lee's thing was on there when I went to him for the datas.
What did he say again?
Yes.
Da-da-da-da.
They were just trying to work everybody else in the band.
Yeah.
Into the shtick.
I was just trying to get him in. I do the da-da-da, and then I held the mic in front of Lee Harris's face, and all I got was, yes.
All right, then you gave him a second shot.
And he said, yes. And I can't remember right after that. I might have said into the mic, oh, you suck.
Do you know how far into it was?
It was towards the end. I know that.
I think it was the second round of datas.
Yeah, he'd given up on Trey at this point.
Hang on. Let me see if I can figure it out with the video. I'm not going to let this guy back in if he's going to make noise for the whole concert again.
What, was he talking about Trey shaking?
Yeah, I think so.
He's not exactly in front of the stage either.
Let's see if this is Lee Harris.
I think it was before that.
All right, I've had enough pain.
Yeah.
And what else do we have on here? That's 500 Mile, La Bamba. Yeah, I'll go through it later. All right. Anything else before we get to news?
You got your lunchbox. Somebody else is upset about you for Easter. Sometimes when the guys around you don't think you should say something, maybe you should listen. Just because Trey explained to you that Jesus came to be crucified by the Romans because he was sold out by the Jews doesn't mean that you need to refer to Trey as the Easter Jew.
That's just funny to hear somebody phrase that. Jesus was sold out by the Jews.
The joke was completely disrespectful, especially since you did it on Good Friday.
I'm not the one who sold out Jesus.
Now, understand, Easter is the most important holiday in the Christian faith. And in the first 5 minutes of your show, you managed to disrespect and cheapen it. Is nothing sacred to you.
What are you holding, Flo?
Oh, audio from...
let's play it again.
Audio from Friday.
How long is this?
I think it's just like, what, minute 30 or 30 seconds, something like that?
Is it a minute 30 or is it a half a minute?
Oh, it's 30 seconds. I'm sorry, 30 seconds.
Okay. Had it was the Jews?
Yeah.
That crucified Jesus.
Well, technically it's the Romans, but it was the Jews who denounced.
I missed that when you said it.
You missed that?
The Jews? Were they blue?
Denounced Jesus as a false prophet.
All right, so had the Jew... Are they laughing at your...
I think they're laughing at the Genu.
Zoo review, yeah.
Denounced Jesus as a false prophet.
He started again. Had, it was the Jews?
Yeah.
They're already giggling about something. Had, it was the Jews?
Yeah.
They crucified Jesus.
Well, technically it's the Romans, but it was the Jews who denounced Jesus as a false prophet.
All right, so had the Jews not denounced Jesus, technically our sins would have never been forgiven.
Yeah, we'd probably all be Jews.
So that's the way that plays out.
Right. That was the divergence of two religions.
Oh. Well, thank you, Easter Jew. All right. What's the issue with that?
I think it's just a little bit disrespectful for the whole religious.
I didn't deny our Savior.
Thank you, Easter Jew.
I didn't drop dime on him. I didn't have anything to do with it.
I understand.
Up until Friday, I didn't really know what the Jews had to do with it.
I know.
So why would they have issue with that?
Well, the dichotomy of Easter Jew in and of itself.
Would it make them feel better if we celebrated in another fashion? Hide matzo balls?
Being that they don't believe in Easter, that Jesus was the Son of God, and
Chuck said he talked to Marty, my accountant. He's Jewish. He thought it was funny.
well, Marty's got a good sense of humor.
He said he took his yarmulke and glued little ears to it. So obviously it didn't bother him.
I'm sure most people thought it was funny. Just
not the Jews.
There might be a...
In fact, I gave him credit for absolving all our sins. Jesus died. All our sins were forgiven. Thank you, Easter Jew. Anything else?
No.
Well, I see you guys are just going to be tons of feedback today, so I'll just plan on talking to myself, and I'll shut off the rest of the mics.
They don't believe in Jesus, so...
Yeah, they do believe in Jesus.
Well, they believe Jesus...
They didn't think he was our Savior.
Son of God,
right?
Yeah.
What did they think he was?
A false prophet.
I thought he was a prophet, just a false prophet?
He was a prophet, just not a good one.
Not the Son of God.
Discount prophet.
Big Lots prophet?
The Walmart of prophets.
Okay. And why?
Yeah, a prophet, but they did not recognize him as the Son of God.
And they didn't recognize him after the resurrection?
Yeah, how'd they explain that whole rolling of the stone thing and disappearing?
They don't believe it.
They don't believe it happened?
Aren't they the ones that put him in the cave?
No.
The Romans did that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then they had no part in it. Then I apologize. Anybody else pissed off?
No, that's all for so far.
All right. Look at the news now. What? Now you've said too much. All right, 4:13. Dan O'Malley's here with news.
Thank you, Russ. Monday, March 24th, 2008. Birthdays today. Peyton Manning turns 32. Star Jones is unemployed and 46. Louis Anderson
What happened to her? That's Shady from The View. The View?
Yeah.
What happened to her talk show on cable?
It went away, I want to say, after not very long. I don't know the exact time, but it was canceled not too long ago.
Less than 6 months.
Court TV?
Yeah, but I don't even think Court TV exists anymore. I think they changed
it to True TV, yeah.
What do they carry now?
Some of the same programming, just a lot of detective stuff and investigative stuff, because that's all Joy watches.
They call it True TV because it's basically like a reality TV type channel. Everything you see on there is supposed to be true.
Well, all right, go ahead.
And let's see, Louis Anderson is 55. Tommy Hilfiger turns 57. The Justice Department today approved Sirius Satellite Radio's proposed $5 billion buyout of rival XM Satellite Radio Holdings, saying the deal was unlikely to hurt competition or consumers. The deal was approved without conditions, despite opposition from consumer groups and an intense lobbying campaign by the land-based radio industry.
And they would almost have to, I know it still has to go before the FCC, they would almost have to approve that. Otherwise, one of them or both are going to go belly up. Because
that's where both of them are going, and both of their stocks went up today after this was announced. Why wouldn't you put them together? What's the
obvious? Well, now you only have one satellite provider, and they're going to claim monopoly.
What they're saying is, in that story, though, is they're saying that's not a monopoly because people normally get one or the other. They don't go back and forth. And you don't get XM and then, I'll drop that one because I've already paid for all the equipment. And
that's not a good argument.
Well, that is the argument they're making.
What you should use is there are other signals that are still out there. You've got the terrestrial radio. You've got the You get CDs, iPods, you got all these other choices that you can play through your stereo. It's not going to be a monopoly if you combine these two, and if they both go out of business, then you got all these people that spent the cash for the receivers, and now they're out.
Isn't that like saying CBS shouldn't own but one radio station? Because otherwise it's a monopoly? Because there's other things that vie for this radio station's attention.
Well,
that's what Marty always says to me.
All these, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
All those laws were in place long before satellite came along, so that's a valid point. If you've got one company that owns a plethora of radio stations and you keep deregulating and deregulating, then all of a sudden it's going to be 2 or 3 monster companies, and you can forget about choices.
That's what we're going. That's the way we're headed right now. But personally, I don't care. Like I said, I have Sirius, and I don't care. I don't even know what XM carries or how they're going to meld the two.
And they basically carry the same things. It's just with a different, slant. It's like
you've got different talk shows. I'm going to guess that's going to be the biggest identifier for either one, because the rest of it, if it's just music, I got an MP3 player. Mm-hmm. I don't know why you'd spend the cash short of the talk shows. And that's why talk is hot right now. Not this show today. Mm-hmm. That's why talk is hot right now, is because everything else you can get from your computer.
Right. And the other thing that I had read a while back, the biggest thing to set the two companies apart, Sirius and XM, people were started to lean more towards Sirius because they were getting all the sports packages, all the professional sports stuff. They were outbidding XM, and that was what ended up, some analysts say, putting Sirius over the top.
We also got to give credit to Stern, because I'm guessing these changes came over the last few years, and that's how long Stern's been there.
Right. And that same report that I had seen, a story a while back, they mentioned the sports stuff and Stern.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
A Frisco Homeowners Association is suing 3 homeowners over comments posted in an online forum. The Frisco Fairways HOA has filed libel suit against the 3 homeowners who they say posted negative comments about board members on the association's website and on FriscoOnline.com.
Originally, I was with the homeowners on this because I don't like homeowners associations.
I don't either.
Because at some of them turn into absolute control freaks. You can't, it doesn't matter what you do, you can't do it.
It seems to
But
be.
if these people are putting stuff online, whether you're not, obviously it wasn't anonymous because they found them, you still got to deal with everything else that we do, as far as slander, libel, whatever.
If you're just giving your opinion on something online, though, that's not slander.
Still slamming an HOA.
I don't like them either. I don't like the one in my neighborhood. And it's interesting.
Are you going to print that online?
No.
Why not?
Probably not. Well, because I don't go online and do that kind of crap. But it's interesting. I've talked to people up and down the neighborhood. It seems to be once you piss them off, they get on your ass for everything. My neighbor, for instance, he put out his trash one day, Sunday at 6. Sunset was 6:30. Got a letter. I had stuff out there 4 days. Not a word. He's pissed him off. And I told him, I said, you've obviously pissed somebody off in the HOA. He goes, well, yeah, because they're always on me. So they watch your house closely if you piss them off.
Trey, do you have any legal recourse against an HOA, especially in a situation like this where they're jumping JD's neighbor?
Not really. If the rules are set and they're very clear and you violate them, there's really nothing you can do.
Is your neighbor white?
Yes.
Can't play the race angle.
No.
Because if I was black, Hispanic, or whatever, and they're targeting me, then at least you've got something to throw back in their face. Well, you're doing it because I'm Hispanic.
They're trying to get me to move out of the neighborhood. I thought I was in trouble when I first moved in, though. Because remember you guys came over and
rolled the house,
and I pulled the shotgun out and chased Gavin. The very next day, I was out mowing the yard, and a guy comes up in a little Jeep, and he stops. He goes, hey,
you shooting people?
Welcome to the neighborhood. And I'm like, turn the mower off. And you would be? He goes, oh, I'm the head of the homeowners association. Like, you don't know who I am? And he goes, did your house get wrapped the other night, and did you come out with a shotgun? I thought, where in the hell did this come from? I went,
we posted it on the internet.
Well, I know, but he obviously...
We talked about it on the air.
Somebody in the neighborhood obviously told him because he didn't know who I was from anything.
Don't you have neighbors that drive up in front of, up and down your street, in front of your house, and just say, hey, Grand Dragon?
Grand Dragon, I got 2 of those.
Then you probably got a neighbor that ratted you out.
Well, why did you rat me out? Knowing it was a bit, knowing we were chasing Gavin with a shotgun. Why you want to rat me out to the HOA?
So how did that end?
Anyway, he just said, well, we just got a kind of little message that maybe you were chasing somebody with a shotgun. I said, no, it was a bit for radio. We're just having a lot of fun. And I explained to him who I was. He had no clue, and he left. And I've never word since.
That was a few years ago?
That was, when I first moved in, coming up on 3 years.
You know, the only thing your neighbor can do is if he can document take pictures of other people who are doing the exact same thing, and they're not
you
getting in
leaving
trouble.
all your crap out there for 4 days.
Yeah, because I cut a tree down. I just left it on the. I thought I was going to be in time for the Monday pickup, and I wasn't. So I left it out there till Thursday.
Okay.
Not a word.
What's the rest of the story on that one, Dan?
That's actually all of this one.
All right. Go ahead, Dan.
The White House said President George W. Bush bears responsibility for the decision to go to war in Iraq and spends time every day thinking about the U.S. troops who have lost their lives in battle. A roadside bomb killed 4 U.S. soldiers in Baghdad on Sunday, this according to the military, pushing the overall American death toll in the 5-year war to at least 4,000. Asked about the toll, White House Press Secretary Dana Perino said the president believes that every life is precious and that he is constantly concerned about the welfare of their families. But,
well, then that should square it.
And she went on to say, but she said the families of those killed tell him they want to see the mission completed successfully.
That's what you hear from military people all the time is, you know what? We have lost people. We know that. Stay there till it's done.
Everybody was behind this when we went. With all the all the intelligence that we had, we thought there were weapons of mass destruction. Mm-hmm. Why there weren't, I don't care at this point. But it's easy to back away from it a few years later, 5 years. There's no reason we should have never gone. This country was beyond behind that. It was post 9/11, and I don't care what anybody says. We wanted to bomb somebody. Mm-hmm. It didn't make a freaking difference who got it. We'd have flattened Switzerland just for giggles because we wanted to get somebody. Somebody had to eat it, whether you were responsible or not.
That's why the 9/11 footage was still running on CNN every 30 minutes. And now you don't see that. What you see is roadside bombs. You see this report of 4,000 lives. And the military families, at least that I've seen on the news, all say, you stay there till it's done. Don't let these kids have died in vain.
Well, nobody's going to bring up the 9/11 footage because, as far as the story goes now, it's not pertinent. Well, there was whoever we were looking for wasn't there. Who were we looking for? So it's a guy that we can't find.
Oh, Osama bin Laden.
Yeah. Why can't we find him?
Because he's shifty. He's just up in...
Wow. That's part 2 of stellar analysis today.
They stay in the mountains between Afghanistan and Pakistan, and it's...
Why don't we look there?
Because we can't get in there.
Why don't we give him an Amex card? I've said that before. Let him be 30 days late. They'll find him.
The tribal leaders won't let us up in there. Pakistani, their hands are tied.
Okay, got it. Anyway, my point is, he wasn't there. We couldn't find him. Why did we stay? So now they can't find any relevance on why to run the 9/11 footage or even associate the two.
Yeah,
even though 5 years ago, we wanted to go. When you watched Baghdad being bombed, the shock and awe, there was some type of patriotism that came along with that.
Absolutely. And I heard...
You jack with us, and here's what you get instead.
I listened to the United 93, which is the one that crashed in Pennsylvania. Air traffic control tapes just this last weekend, and it pissed me off all over again, and I forgot how angry I was that day and that time because it's been so long.
And you get away from that emotion, and now you look at what's going on over there, and we don't see any progress. Any news that comes is a death toll. Now we've passed 4,000. You don't see any of the progress that's come from it. Has there been progress?
A lot.
Okay. We don't see that.
No. They don't report on the schools that are being built and the highways that are being rebuilt.
Well, they're the ones that blew them up.
I know. Not the point.
That argument doesn't seem to work with Gavin. When he blow up his office, he gets new furniture. For whatever reason, he doesn't seem to be that appreciative.
Yeah. Well, again, I don't know what progress we have had because, again, I watch the news like you guys do.
Well, it's a war that's thousands of miles away. Is it further than that?
No, it's good. Thousands of miles.
Okay, thousands of miles, millions of miles away. Emotionally, that's where it is. It's millions of miles away. We don't see it. It doesn't really affect our daily lives. When you hear another soldier's died, it's a number. Yeah. It's a troop. They don't even give them the courtesy of slapping a name with it. It's 6 more troops died today. They got names.
Yeah.
Why is it that we just kind of wash that under the table? Well, you know, it's a large group. It's only 6 people. If it was me, it would piss me off.
That wasn't your name. Your name wasn't associated with it.
If I went over there and dealt with that, and all I get in passing in the news is another troop died.
Because the 99,
I didn't get to deal with this in a nice part of the country.
No.
I got to go over there where they got those camel spiders the size of Volvos.
Here we go. No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Well, they do exist, but they're not like you guys think every 9 feet. There's not one.
The pictures on the internet of the camel spiders, and showed one of them driving a bus.
No, that was photoshopped, I believe.
No.
They don't drive buses. They are big and they're scary, and they do exist. They're just not everywhere like we've been led to believe.
The pictures that we've seen are massive.
They're big. They're very big.
And the one driving the bus.
No, but I've talked to people
because he can drive and they take the change.
Just the rearview mirror.
Yeah. Don't let sit down.
Make her call.
Yeah.
No, but people that have been there say they've been over there and they've never seen one.
Toby Keith's people.
And
they've never seen one camel spider.
I got emails from people that have been there in the military that have said, we've heard about them, we've never seen one the whole time we were here.
And they shield them from that so as not to spread that rumor in the rest of the states.
How do you think we keep the spiders?
And Dan's right. Nobody's going to admit to that because that's not going to do anything as far as recruitment.
It's propaganda.
If you put up one of those camel spiders at one of the recruitment offices, ain't nobody signing up for Dick.
It'll be an army of none.
I'm not fighting that.
No, they don't. They're not. They are there. They're just not as prolific as you are indicating. They've been there 6 or 8 times.
If there's one.
Well,
if there's one driving a bus, that's too many.
Take a break here. All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
Who's this Katie chick?
Oh, she's emailed.
Is that the one from the PR firm?
No, I get something back from her. One of our listeners wrote to her.
This is the one that won't take you off the email list.
Yeah. One of our listeners wrote to her. Listen to JD and remove him from your GD email list as he asked. Idiot. She writes to him and copies me. I will recommend JD to all the people I know. Great promotion.
Where's my pen? Is there email address again?
Sure. Floating, as a boat does, floating gal, 2 G's there.
Got it.
The number 1 at AOL.com.
Okay.
Great promotion. You don't have a clue.
Same thing the guy told me a few years ago. I went, you take me off. I've already asked you guys nice a couple of times. You take me off this list, or I'm going to start the show with you. Great. Any PR is great. Especially with a firm like us. Look forward to it. Okay.
How long did that last? Please stop.
I think people started going to their website and picking out different people that also worked there, making comments about them and their size. Oh, Chuck and I went to Home Depot over the weekend. Mm-hmm. We go in, and there's this thing pushing a stroller. She's got 3 kids. She didn't weigh as much as Big Stacy, but for her height, she looked like it.
How in the world would people... I look at that and I go, how do you, A, have sex, B, actually push something out of you? How do you have kids? Who's doing you?
Chuck and I are following her, giggling. Also looking for places to spit.
Yeah.
Now you go ask her. Hey,
he did not.
No, we didn't talk to her.
Good.
We got a bet going.
What?
Do you have a picture of what screwed you? Obviously at least 3 times. Because my friend thinks it's human. I'm taking everything else.
Probably a reward involved.
And she had some kind of tattoo on her arm. Is that what they mark you with after you get the sperm? What do you think a tattoo is going to make you more appealing?
Nasty.
Obviously, it worked 3 times. Somebody had a boner for that.
Again, I see those all the time in the mall. I don't get it. And I'm not one to point fingers because I'm overweight.
And
man, there comes a point.
Two of the kids were walking, and she's pushing the new thing.
Of course. Which means someone screwed her in the last 18 months. More or less.
And I'm sure her weight gain didn't happen over the past year and a half.
No.
So it had 2 kids with her and decided you needed one more thing.
Spare parts.
You almost have to restrain yourself from not going up and going, could you please show me a picture of what that screwed you?
I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm not trying to be rude. We have bet. I'm trying to buy some new stuff here. I'm going to win.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Just say it wasn't human, and I'll go walk away.
If it wasn't human, then I win. Do you have any footage of it?
Even if it's grainy.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Looking over the right shoulder.
Yeah, as it's walking back to its home in the woods. We followed her for about 5 minutes, just giggling. I think finally she got wise to us and made it right into plumbing.
I'm always amazed when you see the super fat chicks with the super skinny guy.
It's like JD said before, that's a fetish. I don't know why you would make that a fetish when you got chicks running around 2021 that are hot.
Yeah.
Why would you pick that one over this one? Why is it all that meat around the person is the only thing that gets you aroused?
I've said before, I think it's a matter of control. You know she's not going to leave you.
You could find a lot of chubby chicks that are going to work a little bit harder. There's no reason to go overboard. Like this chick at Home Depot.
Never have understood it. Even the mechanics really kind of makes your mind go crazy. You think somebody that heavy? Think about how just going to the bathroom must be incredibly difficult.
Why you want to do me like that?
I'm just saying. How would you even clean yourself?
Maybe you can't. Maybe you hop in the shower and just hope for the best.
I guess. I don't know. I've just little things.
And
like
you're
that.
right. As far as the sex goes, she had to actually grab a wad of stuff and pull it back up over her poon.
We'd have to.
Just so he could get it in there.
Get close.
Unless he just gave her a cup and went, stay in touch. Because there's no way to get around now.
No. It's just.
And she was wearing it was like a summer dress.
Stop.
I'm not making this up. With a skirt was like mid-thigh.
Okay, that needs, you need to stop and talk to these people. That one can't be brushed over. You just say, hey.
You can't wear that where other people can see you. Because I don't know that I can control myself. Knowing that your goods are just a couple of feet away.
Even if I was touching it, it'd still be a couple of feet away.
And stretch marks, can you imagine?
I don't know that they have stretch marks. Stretch marks are normally when you have weight gain and then you lose it. I don't think she's seen the second stage of that.
Yeah.
Oh, real fat people, though, I mean, they get stretch marks where you can see it looks like they're tiger striped almost.
Mm-hmm. I thought you only got those after you lost some weight.
No.
It actually works both ways. I think typically with really large people, they get it when they gain weight so quickly, their skin can't keep up, and that's where the stretch mark comes in.
And after your first stretch mark, obviously that's nature's way of going, slow down, Hoss.
You're doing something wrong.
Because you know you're gaining weight so fast that even nature can't keep up with it.
You don't care at that point. You don't care. You don't think about it. You don't look at your body. You really don't. I mean, you know, now, especially with myself being even overweight, now I don't look in the mirror like I used to.
I don't either.
When you're good, shut up. You don't either.
I don't.
You have never been in better shape in your life, and I'm not. No more smoke up your ass.
I got this thing right here that I can't lose, and I'm getting it sucked out. I don't care if I have to do it in a back alley with somebody with a.
You've got nothing there.
Shop vac.
All right,
you've got nothing there.
I was thinking about those things they used to cut your hair with.
Flowbee?
Yeah, a Flowbee. And I got now that when you added this up, put the punchline right there at the end.
Yeah, will do.
Thank you.
What? You've got nothing.
I want to lose.
You're in better shape you've ever been.
I want to lose this little thing right below my belly button, underneath my nipples.
I understand. And before you're
down here.
I don't see what it is. I really don't.
This. See that?
Just skin.
With fat behind it. And I didn't have this before I started working out.
Well, that makes no sense at all. You're eating right, you're working out. Why would you have any fat at all? And
because I'm doing abs, and it's taking those muscles and pushing them forward. As a result, it shows off my fat.
Don't eat it.
I didn't have this bulge before I started working out.
No, you were
and that's Larry North's fault.
It's not his fault. You're not fat.
You can't have 0% body fat.
It's a little high now, and either I'm going to stop eating altogether and just get the calories I need from whiskey, or I'm going to get it sucked out with the Flowbee.
I'd like to see the Flowbee, so.
Now that we're done with your liposuction, let a quick trim.
Why is it I can see that as a kiosk in the mall?
If they're doing teeth whitening at Sam's and Costco.
A fat Flowbee at the mall?
Yeah.
God, it never stop running.
All right. What else you got in news?
Oh, lots of stuff. All right, this from Massachusetts. A New Bedford man who lived a modest life even after winning a $5 million lottery jackpot.
Hold on. The chick on hold, which lady is she talking about? Hang on. Try her now.
The fat lady from Home Depot.
Oh, all right. Hello, Shannon.
Hello. Why do you have to be so rude? That's not nice.
We didn't say anything to her.
No, but you're talking about her now, and you were laughing at her behind her back.
She didn't know it?
Well, you said she did finally. She caught on.
Well, it wasn't the fact that we were giggling. It was we were behind her for such a long time.
Well, even if she didn't know it, that's still not nice.
Well, what's the reason to wear that skirt so a good portion of you's hanging out of it?
Well, I didn't see it, but from your description, I wouldn't. If that were me, I wouldn't have worn something like that. I would be much more modest if I was in that situation.
I can promise you some of them.
I mean, I totally believe in wearing something that fits your figure, not just any old thing that is a fad at the moment.
Obviously, she thinks that's something that we want to see, because you can see it was a sleeveless outfit. So all her arm meat's hanging out, and then the skirt that ends about mid-thigh, so all of her extra fat is hanging out. I'm surprised her ass wasn't peeking.
I promise you, it's the same situation you have with you. Look at your body, you think you're fat. People that are sometimes unusually fat think they're in good shape. I worked with a chick at that Exxon station where I handed out the keychains. Let me think. Who does she look like? Just think of somebody with a big pear ass. Probably she was maybe 5'6", 215, 220 pounds. I looked at me straight in the face one day. She goes, man, you know what? I'm going out this Saturday night, and I'm wearing these jeans because, man, I look great in these jeans.
Was it the Ropers?
No, these were just regular jeans. She could barely fit into those. And she's a pig. I mean, she was just from the, kind of normal sunlight face, and from the ass down, just exploded. I'm wearing these out Saturday night because I know I look hot in them.
What'd she say when you straightened her out?
I didn't say anything to her. She sit on me or something.
She your supervisor?
No, she was just a coworker. I'm not going to embarrass her and say, really, seriously. Well, honestly, for you, that may be as good as you look. You're right. But she had no problem with putting her ass. She even stuck her ass out. She goes, I know I look good in these. I swear to God.
Well, all right.
This is not if I'm a little overweight.
If I'm shopping for ass, exactly. You got to dress up the storefront as nice as you can get it. But if I'm looking for the entire package, I'm not going to ask for that.
He was dead serious, and I know I look good in these.
I never walk up to anybody and ask the biggie size. Extra ass, please.
Well, she didn't. My point is, just like you think you're fat, she thought she was lean, or at least in good shape.
And there's some chicks at the gym who just started working out, and they're wearing tight crap, so all their business is defined.
Very well defined. No, always wear something loose. Always. Why would you wear anything tight to a gym anyway?
Obviously, they think it's something that I want to see.
This will do it. Yeah,
I work out because one of them will clop by, and I'll lose count of whatever I was doing.
I'm going to walk by him. You watch this. He won't be able to even count because I'm so good looking.
See?
Yeah, look at him. He's all confused and stuff. Blew his mind.
All right. Go ahead, Dan.
All right, so a New Bedford, Massachusetts man who lived a modest life even after winning a $5 million lottery jackpot has died in a fire. John Gonsalves, who is 85, died Thursday after being overcome by smoke in his home. The fire was determined to be accidental, most likely caused by smoking materials. Gonsalves won a $5.1 million megabucks jackpot back in '94, yet he didn't let the fortune change his life. In fact, his obituary described him as only a retired long horseman and made no reference to his lottery win.
I have made a fortune off the lottery.
Yeah.
We're set for life. Are we having celebratory fajitas for, how about that? My legs are burning. How long after the lottery, that he won the lottery, how long before he died?
Oh, well, he won the lottery back in '94.
Oh. But he hadn't gotten all the cash in yet?
No, he was
still owed, I think it was $1 million. So, I mean, he still had more coming.
Something about winning the lottery just seems like, especially for a lot of people, you're asking for trouble.
You hear that a lot. You really do. In fact, if you don't monitor it very closely, my buddy that won the Texas State Lottery, we used to hang out and drink together, died of alcohol, drinking.
Even after they gave him the heads up, you don't stop this, you're going to be dead in a year.
They found him on his boat, passed out. I want to say jaundice. Does that make sense? When you drink too much. And they said, ever drink again, ever, you will die. And he stayed sober for 2.5 years. And the next thing I knew, it was a friend of mine went, "Hey, have you heard from whatever his name is?" And he goes, "Yeah, he's dead." Went back to drinking.
And so what was he doing before he won the lottery?
He had a trucking business, actually very relatively.
So he already
successful.
had cash.
He had cash, you're right, but didn't have this kind of cash where you have.
What did he start buying when he won it? How much did he win?
$28 million.
Did he take it all at once?
That was back when you didn't have that option.
Okay, so he's got all this cash coming in. What did he start buying? Boats, planes. He actually had a pretty successful business renting out airplanes for a while. He didn't go crazy. So the lottery had nothing to do with this. He already had cash. The drinking was something that was. It just got out of control when they started partying. They'd go skiing behind helicopters and down in Mexico and just drinking a lot, having a lot of ladies on the boat, and he just couldn't control it. You don't hear a whole lot of people. Obviously, it's not newsworthy. But you never hear the stories of people who won the lottery. Everything's absolutely copacetic. No. Of course, like you said, that's not really a good story. Lady down in Houston won the lottery. I don't want to say her ex-husband wanted some of the cash and she wouldn't give him to him. He killed her. I think they were still married at the time, weren't they? Still married? Okay.
Yeah.
She won the lottery, didn't tell him.
Yeah.
Oh.
and then she was trying to go through and divorce him without him ever finding out.
Oops. I don't remember the story that he killed her, though.
I remember the end of that,
I know one of them, ended up dead.
Oh, okay.
And in this guy's situation, his oldest son, like I said, he was still owed more than $1 million of his winnings, and his son said he hopes the money doesn't cause friction between his father's survivors, including 2 ex-wives and 5 other children.
You throw any cash in there, you can just plan on friction. Litigation forever. When my grandparents died, they had an assload of cash and an assload of property, and the family still, my mother's side of the family, still hasn't resolved all the real estate because everybody wanted more than they were supposed to have. And my grandparents died back in the 70s. Oh, my Lord. You throw an assload of cash, everybody wants, because there were 7 kids, I got to be there first. Look at the line of wops behind me. All of a sudden, I'm on Dago train. It doesn't even take money. I saw a family break up. It was somebody in my family, and the whole family broke. And then the grandparents died. Didn't own jack. They had a little farmhouse, a tractor, and a truck. So what was everybody after if there wasn't anything? They were going to argue about the bedspreads and the plates and the so just the estate. Just the estate, and it was worth nothing. It was, I say nothing. $150,000, relatively nothing for the 7 or 8 kids that came in like locusts in the spring and came in and just started pulling. I want that. No, she said I could have that. Oh, no, and they literally don't speak to each other. And that was 20 years ago. And my mom went out to the house that my grandparents lived in before the estate had gone, before an attorney or anybody had agreed on stuff. And it looked like they had just had an estate sale. Burglars. Yeah. Well, I said, let's just go through the house. Maybe get one of my mom's old dresses, just something to have. Yeah. Go on. Wow.
The same thing happened when my grandfather died, my dad's dad. And my grandfather had a brother who's still alive. Before the service, when everyone came over.
JD's getting a hand job.
Yes, in Oklahoma. He followed me just for the hand action.
Girls make me horny.
No, but it was the day before the service. We met with the pastor and everything at Papa's house. And after everything was over, my great uncle Clinton, his brother, is going around the house saying, "Oh, I want this." So he started grabbing stuff.
It's like, this ain't waiting until the end of the ceremony. Let's get out of here.
Gotta get it now. Yeah. No one's expecting it.
If we leave before the end of the service, we'll have a chance to get there first. And that's what happened with my grandparents' house.
That same thing actually happened as well. Everyone after everyone left the gravesite, it was no one go eat yet. Stop by the house first in case it's a trick.
A trick what?
That's because
they weren't dead.
No, because after we put him in the ground and everything, his brother
climbs out.
Yeah, his brother, who, like I said, the day before was already trying to snag stuff, said, "All right, well, let's all go to this place and we'll all get together and we'll go eat or whatever."
Oh, I got it. We'll all decide.
Yeah.
I'll meet you at the Denny's.
Exactly. I got to make a quick stop, but I'll be right there.
We'll all get there. We'll decide who's going to get what, and then everybody's happy with it.
I watched a group of 3 siblings. The brother went to the funeral home to make the arrangements. Their mom had died. The 2 sisters, they got like pink and red stickers, and they went through the entire house marking everything they wanted while the brother's doing the funeral.
Going around doing dibs.
Yeah, exactly. And these are people that don't have. I mean, a lot of kids.
Oh, it doesn't matter if you have it or not. It's the fact that, especially in Trey's case, they ain't even in the dirt.
I know.
And all of a sudden you have the red tag sale. Do we need a break? No. All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
Dwell on this, but this chick came in from this email to me.
Okay.
Dear Mr. Selleck.
Oh, I know this chick.
Intelligent Americans recognized Bush was using 9/11 as a pretense to oust a dictator that wanted to kill his daddy long before we lost 4,000 brave young Americans. And even Trey brought that up as a possibility right after 9/11.
Yep, I remember that.
You are ridiculous for acting as if anybody but you believe the WMD business. So laugh it up. You have those soldiers' blood on your hands, too. Why don't you get your ass over there and entertain the troops? Too busy with band practice?
Very nice.
First of all, what does she think that I'm doing with the band?
Exactly.
How much money you raise, whore?
Well, and the entire world believed he had
Everybody believed
WMDs.
it. And I'll bet you money they were there.
Oh, I think when everything settles down, there'll be an underground bunker in Syria that have all sorts of Saddam's goodies.
He saw us coming in, shipped him out in the night.
And obviously, most of the American public was behind this because Bush's approval rating was in the 80s?
Yeah. After 9/11, we wanted somebody to pay.
And if everyone knew that being what she's stating there,
we wouldn't have gone.
Exactly, because the Senate wouldn't have approved it, Congress wouldn't have approved it, no one would have approved it. They just said, Bush, you're crazy, we're not going.
Yeah. Weren't there sanctions in place?
There were, I want to say 15 UN sanctions saying, open up and, get rid of your WMDs. Also remember, he used mustard gas on
who?
Saddam Hussein.
Good name to throw out.
Saddam
because we're talking about Bush.
Sorry. Saddam used...
Watch those pesky pronouns.
Saddam used chemical weapons on his own people and the Kurds and on the Iranians when they had like that 12-year war. So not only did we think he had them, he'd used them before.
So why does she...
she's got something against... She doesn't like you. She sent me emails, and I keep bouncing them and returning them, and I say, this is not so... First of all, she emails from a work account.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I just got her name. Let me double click on it.
I wrote back to her. I went, this is not a... You're not going to win, and what are you trying to prove?
What is a Texas-health.net?
I would imagine that's some type of health management organization.
Are you sure? Let me ask you again.
Not positive.
What is Texas-health.net?
I'm sure Dan will know here in 2 seconds when he pulls it up.
Find it. Better hurry up before the site locks up.
Skip intro.
Oh, Lord.
Come on. You're about to run out of delay.
I know. It's just taking... Okay, it's loading up. New internet site. Oh, that's nice. It's up to, nice and new.
Was.
Well, we'll see what they're paying for bandwidth.
It says here our website's still under construction. The emphasis of our site is on behavioral health and physical rehabilitation.
Well, that's good. At least it'll be down for a while they work on their redesign. And it's damned easy for anybody to come back 2, 3, especially now 5 years
anybody can do
after the war started. I didn't believe that there weren't WMDs. Even Hillary, who's bouncing all over Bush, said, with the intelligence that we had, I believed it. That's why I voted for it. And that's the thing that gets me with Obama.
Yes.
Is I was never for the war. We don't know what you were doing.
We never even heard of you until we saw that woman with the big 50
with a great big fat. God. Yeah.
Then we heard about the Obama.
Yeah, and you don't know what he would have... he was in the Illinois State Senate at the time. You don't know what you would have done.
They didn't ask him nothing.
No.
All right. Before we go over there and start a full-blown war, let's ask the Illinois State Senate how we should play this out.
What he thinks officially.
Yeah, if you weren't asked at the time, we really don't know what you were thinking.
And everybody else thought it was so. And everybody, including the UN. And I still go back to the fact they were there or still are there. I was watching the TV show over the weekend. We have a hydrogen bomb that fell off an airplane 25, 30 years ago that's just off the coast of South Carolina we can't find.
I don't think we want to find it. I think we're just waiting.
There was a whole long story, really short.
It's only South Carolina.
A bomber's doing a bomb run, just practice, coming out into South Carolina. A fighter's dispatched to find it. Fighter comes down, didn't see it, clips the wing. Now the guy's got to crash land the thing somewhere. He comes in, he goes out over the ocean to come into South Carolina. He can't because it's got a 7,800-pound hydrogen bomb in the plane. So if they crash, it could explode and kill everybody in the middle of the night.
All right, so this is what happened 20, 30 years ago.
And they drop it off 10 miles out to sea. And it's still there. We can't find that. It's our country. Hey, we know where it is. History Channel. I didn't make this up or dream it.
Somebody wants to go get it.
Well, again.
Who wants to? You want to go retrieve? Did you say a hydrogen bomb?
It's a hydrogen bomb.
Why were they toting one of those around back in the late 70s, early 80s?
Back in then, they had all the bombers that were set to potentially fend off an attack were already loaded with a bomb. So now it wasn't. They say it wasn't. There's safeties obviously. No safety was on, or it would have exploded when it hit the ocean. But the safety was on. It worked.
Yeah, back in the Cold War, we were loaded.
We had an ass load of hydrogen bombs.
All our bombers were loaded and ready for bear should the Soviet, anything happen.
Okay.
That's why it was such a big deal. It happened.
Hang on. Is that Gail? All right. Hi, Gail.
Howdy.
What are you doing?
Just traffic and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And this one's brought to you by WGN, the Superstation. On 635 ramp to northbound Central, they cleared the wreck, but that traffic's still just kind of bottlenecked and stuck there. On northbound 35 at Royal Lane, the 2 left lanes are blocked. Traffic is backed up to 183. 408 southbound at 20, there's a wreck on the shoulder. It's heavy from Illinois Avenue. And Mesquite on southbound LBJ past Town Center Boulevard, they cleared the wreck, but that's backed up well through the Garland area. Northbound 35 at Laurelland, a wreck in the right lane, and it's heavy from Camp Wisdom. And in Fort Worth, the left lane is blocked on westbound 183 at 360. It's blocked by a wreck. I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
Thanks, Gail. All right, clear and kind of cool tonight. 42 for the overnight low, going to be in the 70s tomorrow, then almost into the 80s by Wednesday and Thursday. We're at 65 now at Live 105.3.
All right, I'm done with this.
Okay.
What else you got, Dan?
The new pastor of Barack Obama's Chicago church said during Easter Sunday services that recent national scrutiny of the church is a test that will only make the congregation stronger. The Reverend Otis Moss III said anytime you go through a crucifixion experience, eventually they have to lift you up. He did not shy away from the controversy surrounding his predecessor at Trinity United Church of Christ, and of course the Reverend Jeremiah Wright. Moss said Sunday that Wright's critics and the news media are just lifting us up to give us the opportunity to speak love to the situation. In a speech last week that took the country's racial divide head-on, Obama said black anger persists over injustice
I think
in
love
America.
was pretty much void of Reverend Wright's sermons.
Yeah.
Well, the ones that I saw. Obviously, the ones that are going to be posted are the ones that blame the U.S. for 9/11 and don't like Whitey. And now James Carvell, the political analyst, you know who I'm talking about?
The bald-headed guy?
Yeah.
What's he doing?
He's in trouble for referring to somebody as Judas. Who was that?
Bill Richardson.
Who is that?
Governor of New Mexico, who last week endorsed Barack Obama, but he served 8 years with Clinton, big Clinton friend and supporter, and so he called him Judas for switching sides.
Well, and now Carvell, I didn't watch the entire story. I just saw that they're climbing up his ass.
Why? I don't get that one at all.
Because you're
making a reference to somebody who turned their back on somebody.
Exactly. You made a religious reference, and now he's going to have to go back and deal with the aftermath.
That's absurd.
And it's because he's ugly, and he's white.
And he's scary.
And the whole racism thing is really pissing me off because the black people are only the ones getting away with it right now. You got blacks that can chastise the whites, and they've got just reason for what happened in the past. But to say GD America, because all these things happen, those things aren't happening now.
No. And
Carvell's going to get it because he's ugly and he's white.
I don't know.
And he wasn't behind the pulpit. Might have got away with it if he was, if it was in a church setting. Look at the stuff that Pat Robertson threw out post 9/11. I think he said we were responsible for that.
He said our support, or I've got to throw it. There's something about the Israelis.
But again, because you've got a religious affiliation or you're behind the pulpit, you can throw out any. I got to get a pulpit.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Well, you already have one. You can get away with anything. Nobody ever protests you.
The Crepe Myrtle people did.
Oh, Jesus. The Crepe Myrtle people, yes. After 8 years of you.
And how goddamn embarrassing is that? Of everything that we touched on, since I started in radio, and the only people I can get to come get me are a bunch of horticulturists.
Everybody else gets it.
I thought you were going to get a midget protest.
We might have missed it. They could have been out there for weeks.
Who's mad at the bald-headed guy?
I don't know. You
don't have to apologize for that. You're making a reference. You're making a reference to something. That is just absurd.
And I think it's the timing being it was Good Friday and the
what difference does it make?
It doesn't. And Carville skate because he's one of the best political minds there is, but they'll beat on him for a while.
Well, I think he's already addressed it. All right, what did you mean by this? Again, I haven't seen the whole story. I just know somebody's climbing up his ass because he used a Judas reference. If I can find it, I'll back it up on CNN and I'll play it.
Because somebody turned their back on somebody and used a Judas reference. Jesus.
Yeah, you're just using all right, here's a Carville thing.
He's scary looking. He's like Skeletor.
Delegates in all the contests are resolved. She's behind in the popular vote right now. Doesn't look like she's going to be ahead now that Florida and Michigan are no longer apparently in the ball game. Do you see any way?
What are you laughing at, John?
Sorry, is that Wolf?
Yeah.
I just can't look at him anymore. Remember what he did in New Orleans?
Oh.
All these people are so poor and they're so black.
What are the odds?
I just can't look at him anymore without laughing. I don't get what he's talking about. I don't hear it. All I hear is so poor and so black. And
right now, she can still emerge as the Democrat. Walk me through the process, how she can be the Democratic nominee.
First, let's start, Wolf, because you and I are both sports fans, and we love basketball in this tournament.
All right, I can't tell. This may be the first time he made the comment.
Okay.
See, there's 8 over.
Who is Skeletor?
Skeletor's in
the bad guy in Masters of the Universe. Yes. He-Man.
Oh.
Between 8 and 9% of Democrats live in Florida and Michigan. So would you stop a game, a 40-minute game, with 3.5 minutes left to go? Of course you would not. And you saw on this set what Senator Daschle and I, they clearly did everything they could to block these Florida and Michigan Democrats voting. So there's no real authority to claim a popular vote mandate when you still have 36 minutes and 30 seconds left to go that only been played. You've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds left.
He may be addressing something else.
Yeah. Super.
Well, yeah, he may be just talking about the super delegates and what?
No, I can't look at him. Just
Carville?
He frightens me.
I never seen He-Man.
Someone will pull up a picture.
I don't want to see it. Dan, get off the internet.
Okay.
He looks just like that.
All right. What is this, Trey?
Oh, that's the Wolf Blitzer audio.
He didn't stumble. He didn't go back and read.
Yeah, no pause.
I'm terribly sorry. Oh, what have I said? No, he just went right on.
Yeah, nobody screaming at him in his ear from the producer's booth. Hey.
They took a break and they went, you know what you said? No, what? Ooh, let's play it for you.
What kind of club? 10. Here it comes.
You simply get chills every time you see these poor individuals. As Jack Cafferty just pointed out so tragically, so many of these people, almost all of them that we see, are so poor and they are so black, and this is going to raise...
And I looked, not one mulatto.
I'd forgotten actually how bad that was.
How do you just do that and no go, oh my God, what I just said?
I don't think you can. He was building up to it.
Well, what's the pertinence have to do with a story about them being black? You just have an entire southern half of a state get washed out. And your own local government and state government didn't do anything. Well, it's not bad enough that now you've thrown on them, well, they're so poor. Oh, look at that.
On top of everything else.
None of them should play the lottery.
As Jack Cafferty just pointed out so tragically, so many of these people, almost all of them that we see, are so poor and they are so black, and this is going to raise lots of questions for people who are watching this story unfold.
Can we start the questions now?
He's pointed out so tragically. That's my favorite.
Yeah. You know, somebody in the booth is going, hey, what the did you say? Would you like to hear it again?
One more time, please. At least.
You simply get chills every time you see these poor individuals. As Jack Cafferty just pointed out so tragically, so many of these people, almost all of them that we see, are so poor and they are so black, and this is going to raise lots of questions for people who are watching this story unfold.
Nobody jumped him for that.
Nobody said it well.
Well, there was no malice there.
No, he just misspoke. Just funny.
Even had he just said so poor and black, that's still not pertinent. But then you got to run the score up and make it just sound.
Oh, Lord, it's not bad enough they lost their homes.
These people just have nothing. What a bad stroke. One more time.
You simply get chills every time you see these poor individuals. As Jack Cafferty just pointed out so tragically, so many of these people, almost all of them that we see, are so poor and they are so black, and this is going to raise lots of questions for people who are watching this story unfold.
Go to break.
Forever.
And you're right, nobody even brought that up.
So I would actually think that would be another reason, in addition to bad language, obviously, that you can't air, for a TV network to run a delay. It's like, okay, Wolf said something stupid, hit the Wolf button again.
Wolf button.
And that's a valid point. If somebody drops something and the producers were watching it, well, you know what? A, that's inaccurate, libelous, slanderous, whatever. Hit the delay.
Yeah.
And we'll address this later. They should have been pounding on that one with a hammer.
How many delays do we have?
last time.
That's not.
You simply get chills every time you see these poor individuals. As Jack Cafferty just pointed out, so tragically, so many of these people, almost all of them that we see, are so poor and they are so black. And this is going to raise lots of questions for people who are watching this story unfold.
I feel bad for the Jack Cafferty guy.
Who was that?
The guy's name that he mentions in that, because every time you play it, that guy's name's right in there with it.
Oh, yeah.
He pointed out so tragically.
Jack said it. I was quoting Jack.
And Jack's such an a-hole. I'm surprised he didn't rail Wolf Blitzer for that.
Well, they're all on the same network.
Yeah, but Cafferty's just an ass.
I'm watching the footage.
Yeah.
I'm adjusting the contrast on the TV. No? So poor. Let me try the hue. All right, go ahead, Dan.
Well, we were talking about Barack Obama, and last week, Twisted Sister guitarist J.J. French decided to show his support for Barack Obama by re-recording the song I Wanna Rock.
32.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah, got 32.
And, of course, changed the words to I Want Barack.
How bad do you need?
I want
Barack! All right, this wasn't Dee Snider. Who was it?
Guitarist J.J. French.
To it in this.
What's that sound you say? The sound of people cheering all around the USA. What's that noise?
Do I have the right band? Twisted Sister?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's Dee Snider?
Well, yeah, lead singer, yeah. But this is...
Well, I mean, is this, did this guy sing the original vocals on this?
No, he just sung a lot of the background stuff, but this is J.J. French.
Okay.
That's a video that goes along with the pictures of Barack pointing and standing. At one point, he's standing in front of a Superman statue with the Superman stance, the whole thing.
Barack is?
Barack is, yeah.
They redo the whole song?
Oh, yeah. It's almost 3 minutes long.
All they really want to do is keep everything the same. Same.
Pictures of Bush and McCain.
Corruption everywhere. Women's rights and civil rights continue going down the drain.
Why wouldn't Dee Snider put a stop to this?
I guess, you know, he said he kind of play. I didn't even know the other song.
What other song?
I Want to Rock? I don't remember that song, really. I don't.
Oh, I know this one. You ever heard it, Trey?
I Want to Rock?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering how you'd be in music radio in the 80s and you didn't know this song.
Was this a hit in the 80s? Oh, yeah. In the 80s.
JD doesn't remember it because he didn't get money for hits.
Oh, it's not classified as one of the Van songs.
Stop it.
Yeah.
You need Van songs. Van Halen's the only Van songs we
No.
had. We didn't play that, Fiegel, when I was there.
Because nobody offered you any cash.
If it was a hit, we played it. That's why we were number one.
You can probably name every Kaja Goo-Goos in the song.
Discotheques and the Sexolettes.
That was a hit. It was a novelty, but it was a hit.
Kaja Goo-Goo.
Kaja Goo-Goo was also a hit.
Susie and the Banshees.
Too Shy was the song. Yes, that was also a hit.
What was the song?
Susie and the Banshees. I don't remember the name.
I'm still going to get you for Crowded House.
Hey, don't dream it's over.
What, Troy?
The song was called Peekaboo. Yeah. Susie and the Banshees.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't do any of these. These were hits nationally. I don't control the national charts.
All right.
Okay. And in continuing to dogpile on JD, tax rebates are the centerpiece of the government's plan to stimulate the economy, but many Americans are planning to put the money in the bank or use it to pay off debt. This according to a CNN opinion research poll, and they found that 41% of respondents plan to use their rebates to pay off bills. 32% will put the money in savings. Just 21% of those polled intend to spend the money, while 3% said they will actually donate the extra cash to charity. The rebate checks are, of course, a part of that $170 billion economic stimulus package passed by Congress last month. The package will pay $600 to most taxpayers who who earn less than $75,000, and $1,200 for married taxpayers filing joint returns who together earn less than $150,000.
I haven't said a word about me not getting anything.
Because you've got all kinds of cash.
You don't need it either.
I do need it. I don't make quite a bit less than you do, and that $600 is a lot of money to me. And most importantly, I put money in. When it comes time to get some money out, I should be first in line. I did.
Yeah, the people that don't even pay taxes.
That
doesn't make any sense. You didn't put anything in. This is some type of tax rebate. You don't get a rebate unless you bought something.
Thank you.
They know those people are going to go spend it.
According to the story Dan read, most of them are going to stick it someplace else. I asked Amy, when you get, because I want to see where this is going. So what are you going to do with your rebate? Because she got a letter saying you have to do this and it's coming. Well, I'll probably pay off some stuff or just pay taxes. Nothing else pops to mind? No. I think that's what I should do with it. Nothing else in your head. No. That should be it.
That's where it should go.
Nobody else you want to buy something for. Somebody else you want to reward. Possibly somebody standing a foot and a half away from you.
Who's been there for you.
Nope.
Well, again.
That's all right. She won't see it.
You're not going to actually take that from her, are you?
I'm not going to take it from her. I check the mail every day before I leave the house. She'll never see it.
Are you going to attempt to cash it, or are you just going to keep it from her?
I'll keep it.
That would be fraud.
Why?
You cash your check with her name on it?
I'm not going to cash it. I'm just going to hang on to it.
Throw it in a drawer.
It's my house, my address.
That's true. You can. What's the point of not giving it to her? Just give it to her.
No. Let her bitch about it. Write the IRS. I never got my money. And that's what they want to know. Wait till they crawl up your ass looking through your returns.
I'm still pissed off. They sent me a letter last week. Sent me a letter to tell me I ain't getting nothing. You bastards. Why not just send a letter that goes from the IRS, your buddies.
A nice pop-up letter.
Seriously. Spent time and money sending me a letter going, ain't getting nothing.
You realize you're bitching because you make too much money.
No, I'm bitching because I put money in. This is a rebate. Follow my logic here. And I put money in. I should be first in, first out. That's the point.
Had they just done it for a certain income and not included people who don't pay dick, then you got no argument.
That's true.
Because if it's supposed to throw some push behind the economy, most of those people, since they can't handle their cash anyway, they're going to go spend it.
They're going to, yeah.
But to give it to people who don't pay in anything,
I just don't even.
Where's the logic?
Where's the logic in sending a letter to
shut up. You ain't getting the cash. Let it go.
How much money do we spend to tell people the letter? Okay, you're getting a rebate. You got a letter. We spent how much to tell people they're getting the money?
$52 million.
You bastards.
I'll tell you exactly why you got that. I haven't gotten one yet. I don't know if I won't.
Oh, you'll get it.
But it's to encourage you, because I believe it says on there, you got to file your taxes.
Right. If you file all you have to do
is it 07?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why they're not telling you didn't get it. If you do this, then you get your refund.
Yeah,
then once you go ahead and file, bad news.
You missed it by this much.
Yeah. The you may qualify sentence.
Yeah. It's like the government's own Nigerian scam.
Pretty much. They get people to file, because that's exactly what it says in the letter. It says, to do this, all you have to do is file your 07 taxes. Then your buddies at the IRS are going to send you a check.
How do they figure to start sending these out in May if you really have to go ahead and file? Because everybody waits till the middle of April. So I don't know how that one's working out.
Either.
That don't make no difference.
No, I ain't getting nothing. Not.
I'll sell you Amy's.
How much? No.
I got signatures of hers all around the house.
I'm not going into check fraud with you. What are you in prison for? I killed a family of 6. I wrote a fake name on a $600 check. God. Never mind.
$75?
No! Check fraud? No!
It's only check fraud if she files a report.
No, it's check fraud if I write a name on a check that's not mine and cash it. That's a federal offense.
But it's still going to have to be a complainant. She's not going to say anything. She's never going to miss the check.
Yes, eventually she will. She'll know she didn't get it. and she'll file. I'll live in prison. This is all in your grand design, isn't it?
$55.
Take cash.
Not from you.
Why?
I want something a little more substantial.
Like what?
Something I can use once you're in prison. We need a break. All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
Traffic. Is life there?
Hello.
How are you?
Great.
What'd you do for Easter?
We went over to my son-in-law's parents' house and ate, played with the grandbabies. Why? Oh, a couple of hours. Oh, I guess nobody else is hearing you, huh? You want to know how long we did that? Traffic's brought to you by WGN, the Superstation. 408 southbound at 20. There's a wreck off to the shoulder. It's slow from Mountain Creek Parkway. On northbound 75 at Fitzhugh, the left lane's blocked in the middle of already creepy crawler traffic. Northbound 35 at Royal, they finally cleared that wreck, but it's backed up all the way to Commonwealth. In Richardson on northbound 75 before the Bush Turnpike, the left lane's blocked. It's heavy from Campbell Road. And southbound Simmons from Motor to Industrial, stop and go. In Fort Worth, southbound 35 before Ricinger, the wreck's on the left shoulder. It's backed up to Morningside. I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
Thank you, Gail. All right, clear and kind of cool this evening. 40 for the overnight low, going to be mid-70s tomorrow, then up near 80 for Wednesday and Thursday. It is 65 now at Live 105.3.
What'd you say about Tim?
Maybe have Tim call him or write him a letter.
Oh.
Sometimes that gets people's attention.
Dicks.
Yeah, this one.
What? You're not going to talk about this on the air, are you?
I'm not going to say the name of the dealership.
Okay.
I'll say the make.
Let's just... Hey, we have a ton of news. Wow, I just forgot how much news we have.
I take the truck in there last year
no.
for some oil consumption problem.
Yes.
You're right. Isn't it interesting?
Well, it is. Everybody has...
Well, I'm not going to mention the name of the place till I get my truck back.
But there's no punchline because you're not going to mention them. And by punchline, I mean on this show, it's a real punchline.
I take it in last year because the truck's going through oil, the Viper truck.
Okay.
No leaks, no smoke, nothing really that would be indicative of some vehicle that's burning or leaking oil. They don't find anything.
Okay.
I pay for an oil change. I said, look for a leak. I get oil. Finally, I decided to address it again, take it back. They said, well, it's not going to be under warranty. It was under warranty when I brought it in the first time, you sucker.
That was then. This is now. Sorry.
And didn't they screw up last time because that truck takes more oil than normal?
I don't know if they did or not.
Oh.
All I know is I go to check it, and it's low in oil again. So now they got it. Well, we're going to do this. We're going to run dye through it. We're going to have to change oil. Yeah, I know. I already told you, it's not leaking. We run the dye through the truck is to see if they can spot a leak. It ain't leaking. There's nothing on the truck.
Yeah, you'd see it on the ground in your motor court.
Well, you'd see it underneath the truck because we've had it up on the lift. We looked everywhere. There ain't no leaks.
Where's it going?
I don't know where it is, but they won't tell me.
Who's the last person who changed your oil?
Curtis over at Black Goodyear.
Did he know that it takes more than normal oil?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and in fact, he started doing an oil consumption for me as well. And went, screw this. I'll just take it back to the dealership. They've already had it there for that reason. Obviously, they'll go back and look at their records and go, well, all right, we had it here. We didn't fix it. We'll fix it now. The freaking chance.
It's not under warranty. Sorry.
It was last year.
And those buses were drivable before the flood.
That didn't make any sense.
I'm just talking about when they were talking about those buses in New Orleans.
What's that got to do with my goddamn oil?
You're focused on the oil. It's just saying you went at a time when you could have done some good when it was still under warranty. They could have fixed it.
And I took it in.
I know you did. They didn't find it. Now, don't they have no record at all that you took it in?
No, they had, but there wasn't anything on the order that said, in here for oil consumption. I just got a nice oil change. I'll be damned.
Well, it'll be okay.
I don't have my truck.
When do you get it back?
Chuck told him, don't do anything.
Yeah.
Because they called and they said, we're going to have to change oil and run this dye through it. Here's what it's going to cost. He said, we're not paying for anything.
No, don't do anything at that point.
And then the service manager called him, said, we're not going to cover this under warranty. What are you going to do? Really? So I'll just get it back and I'll take it someplace else, or I'll wait for Daryl to open up the shop. Which he sent me the list of all the things that he wanted to spend to open up the automotive, RMS Automotive.
Are you buying something that already has bays and everything?
Leasing, yeah.
Well, then that shouldn't be that many things you need.
Huh? What you think?
It already had bays. It was already an automotive place.
Do you want to know what he wants to buy?
Sure.
Not all of this is detailed. Some of it's just a lump sum.
Okay.
We need to get 4 2-post above-ground lifts. R134 recovery and recharge machine. R12 recovery and recharge machine. 3 floor jacks, engine hoist, 4 oil drains, parts washer, transmission fluid exchanger, blasting cabinet, brake lathe, miscellaneous, air compressor, licenses, operating capital. In addition to $280,000 in equipment, a $20,000 computer invoice system. Renovate the whole place for $20,000. Daryl wants to make $250,000 a year. You fool!
What was this place before? A polar bear ice cream? What was in there?
It was another repair shop, but it was mostly body.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right now, there's nothing in there, but you got the bays. It's perfect. The location off the George Bush. You got visibility. You got traffic that'll come just from the show. I'm not paying you $250,000 to run manage some monkeys.
Well, maybe he's aiming high, thinking you're going to...
This ain't the goddamn Air Force.
That'll make a lot of money.
I'm not going to renovate the place for $300,000. I don't believe you get anything back from the owner, especially if you're only staying there 4 or 5 years.
Well, hopefully you'll stay longer than that.
I'm not paying $300,000. I'm not giving him $250,000 to run a bunch of monkeys. You fool.
What do you think the average manager at a Goodyear place makes?
$12,000.
No.
And that's good money.
No. I was thinking more like 50 or 60. That's what a manager makes.
No. Well, he would be the manager or the general manager. So I was going to give him another $8,000 a year for that.
68's good.
I was thinking 58.
Oh, okay.
I think 100 would be
100,000.
Yeah.
Why is everybody nodding?
For a general manager for an automotive place and all the things you have to look after.
Whew. He's the one that fixed my windshield wipers on the Torino. He said they needed bushings.
Okay.
Because they're kind of rattling when you run them.
Mm-hmm.
So he fixed them with zip ties.
I'm sorry, Mr. You're the one, Mr. I love zip ties.
Yeah, I know, but he's about to open up automotive place. I'm not sure we need to be talking like this.
Why?
Your general manager is fixing your washers with zip ties.
I'm not giving him $250,000. I don't care if I got a whole chain of Andy Granatelli to him. You fool. And now with that, and I'm trying to get my truck out of the shop, and nobody will fix it. They want to charge me for oil change. We got to check it for leaks. It ain't leaking. I told you last year when I brought it in, it ain't leaking. I told you this past weekend when I took it in, no leaks. We got to check it for leaks. No.
Did they not listen?
Well, they said some leaks are not detectable. Okay, fair enough.
Where does oil go if it's not detectable?
Obviously, the engine's burning it for some reason, but the truck's not smoking.
Okay.
But I'm having to check it like every few weeks just to make sure it's got enough oil in it. And the oil that I got to put in, it's like $7 a quart, and it holds 10 quarts.
Wow.
So I get the news from Chuck, and they ain't going to fix it under warranty. Then I get Daryl's shop list.
You had a good
Well, that seems pretty reasonable.
He'll kill you.
$250,000 for him to run the place?
Barring the salary.
All right, what am I going to get for a $20,000 computer invoice system? I can get a Dell, dude. Dude, I'm getting a Dell. I'm not getting paying $20,000 for some invoice system.
I'm sure for accounting purposes long term, it's probably going to save you money.
Why?
Because it'll keep everything.
It's software. Any computer will run software. I'll go get me a Dell.
I know nothing about the automotive business.
Well, then why are you saying anything?
I just know it's like a POS system for a restaurant.
Why don't we get a good one? What?
I think he means point of sale.
I could get a computer with all the software on it to run everything that we need.
That seems to be the most honest thing you've said so far. Yeah, you can get a computer at Best Buy that should be able to run some software to keep track of receipts.
Well, it may be like
for $20,000, I'll sit there and do it myself.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
It's like it may be a licensing deal.
Let me ask you this: are you going to give me $20,000? Because
No.
you still owe me $6,000. You going to give me the money for a new computer system? Then stop helping Daryl out, king of the zip ties.
I'm sure you need multiple monitors, multiple points, and it's probably a software issue like a POS system.
Then don't get that. Go get you a Dell. A nice Dell. I'll probably get one for $500.
Accounting.
Hold on. What is it, Ryan?
Daryl's on line 2.
Yes, Daryl.
Yes. What's this about putting zip ties on wiper blades? Who did that?
You did.
I didn't do that. I told you I wouldn't even claim to even seeing that being done by you.
I asked you if that would hold for the time being.
That sounds more like it.
I don't see anything wrong with my salary.
$250,000 a year?
Yeah. I'm more than just a general manager.
What are you, buddy?
I'm good.
I will tell you this. I got a friend that's got a General Lee.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to you. Shut up. In fact, sit on hold. He's got a General Lee. Put a new intake and carb on it.
Okay.
He goes, it's been a month. I can't get it to run. Keeps backfiring. I mentioned that to Daryl. He goes, this plug wires are out of order. Didn't say anything else. Didn't ask any other question. Just said that. I emailed the guy because that's what it was. So obviously Daryl knows what he's doing.
Sure. Some good people are just, man, they just have a sixth sense.
But I ain't giving him $250,000 to run a bunch of monkeys.
That's normally what it costs. General manager as well as manager of the store running everything.
And
Because we have to live in your store and literally be there all the time.
Oh, plus he wants 10% of the gross profit. Trey? Now what?
I don't think I've ever seen Trey bite his lip that hard.
I can't help him on that one.
That would be a little excessive.
Especially on the gross.
But the $250,000 isn't.
For good management, you would be surprised what people have to pay. Obviously, he knows what he is doing. Is $250? I'd have to go out and ask people what they're paying.
Ask me.
What are you going to pay?
It's too much.
I'll tell you what I'll do.
There's nothing wrong with $58,000. $50 to run the place and $8 because he's the manager.
I'll call.
You're so generous.
What?
I'll call a friend at another place, and I can find out real easy what he pays his general managers and whatnot.
You don't have to. I ain't paying him $250,000.
Well,
I ain't paying $300,000 for equipment. I ain't paying to renovate the. Well, let's see.
What equipment is on that list that you don't need? You gotta have to have.
Here's the other thing: is I don't know anything about cars and how to fix wipers.
Yeah, with zip ties.
I don't know anything else. So Daryl could put whatever he wanted on here. He could make words up.
Clearly.
We need a new flurb machine.
No, you're not.
Well, what's that? That's when the partsmans break. What's a partsman? It's fixed by the flurb machine. Those are $40,000.
He's not going to do that to you. You trust him, yes? He's not going to.
I would let him work on all the car. You know what? Hold on, and then we'll move on. Hey,
Wait.
what do I do about this warranty work at that dealership?
I'm gonna get the district manager for Dodge. I'll get a hold of him for you, and we'll see if they won't change their mind.
All right. Let me know what happens.
I do it.
And you did the zip ties.
Yeah, no.
Dude.
Doesn't sound like something anybody that knows anything about cars would do.
The wipers work.
Sounds like something you would do.
I did it, but I asked him before I stuck them on, will this hold for the time being before we can get the bushings? He said, should be all right. It's not going to last long. And they work fine.
Okay. But they're zip ties.
They're still on there.
Very nice car. Zip ties?
You can't see it.
Okay.
Unless the wipers are on.
Then it's raining, nobody's paying attention.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Dan.
Okay. Less than a year after he was released on parole from a Michigan prison for second-degree murder, assisted suicide advocate Jack Kevorkian announced he is running for U.S. Congress.
Good. Put him in charge of refreshments.
What? Why is that good? No, he'll be no Kool-Aid.
You look a little dry after that cookie. How about a nice Hawaiian punch? Plus, doesn't Kevorkian have something already?
He's got cancer.
Yeah. You think he's going to give a rat's ass what he's handing to them?
He's on my Deadpool list, I think.
He's 79?
Yeah, 79. And yeah, he is on your Deadpool.
Okay.
Anyway, Kevorkian will challenge Representative Joe Nolenberg, a Republican who has represented Michigan's 9th district since 1993.
Well, hang on. Didn't Kevorkian serve time for second-degree murder or assisted murder?
Yeah, for second-degree murder after being released from a Michigan prison less than a year.
How do you run for elected office if you've got a criminal record? Something like that.
I guess there's no statute that says you can't run. Obviously, it's going to be an issue in a campaign, but I mean, it's not like he went out and butchered somebody. I mean, it was helping people die that were terminally ill.
Oh, I got no problems with what he did, but he still served prison time for it.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know if they were really terminally ill.
I believe they were all pretty much sick.
Okay. Well, it's like the guy that's running for mayor in
Wilmer. That's
he wasn't convicted as a sex offender, but he's a registered sex offender.
Yeah, he's a registered sex offender.
Well, he wasn't convicted. They gave him deferred adjudication.
That's a hole in the law.
And now there's no conviction. And he wants to run for mayor. I made a mistake. No, a mistake is asking for $250,000 to run a shop. Transposing numbers. Asking me for a flurb machine. That's a mistake. Trying to pick up a 15-year-old online. That's not a mistake.
No, and
that's a nice cover, and I'm sure you meant well. But I don't care how long you spent in rehab. I don't believe that most pedophiles get over this.
I believe we've talked about that before. Even the people that are involved in the law say that is one of the crimes you don't rehab from.
What's the story? Do you have it?
Yeah, and you nailed most of it. The man, James B. Slider, who's 42, said he needed to prove he could be an asset to his community. He was arrested after arranging to have sex with someone he met on the internet who he thought was a 15-year-old girl. He was placed on 10 years of probation for attempting to commit the sexual assault of a child.
You can't have him to any events because everybody's always going to be worried.
I absolutely would. Why don't you just, you've had your little time in prison, go do something else. Why would you want to be the mayor of a town? That's all CNN's been running today because it's so interesting, I guess.
It's national now?
It's national news, yeah. Small town Texas mayor wants to sex offender.
I made a mistake. No. Asking me for?
No.
$300,000 in equipment. That's a mistake. Asking for 10% of gross profit. That's a mistake. Picking up somebody online? No.
You don't get another. Well,
I wonder why they let him off or gave him the option of deferred adjudication. Doesn't mention that anywhere in the story, does it?
No, it doesn't, unfortunately.
Maybe it was a first-time thing. You plea out, you're done. But you still always have to be registered as a sex offender. So maybe that's damning enough.
They figured that would be enough.
Although a lot of sex offenders don't keep their information updated online.
Go figure. They've already broken the law once.
Yeah. What pedophile? I have problems with numbers. Well, I don't have problems when it's 14 or 15. Anything over that? Nah, that's confusing. Nothing else in the story about why they let him off?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, the spacesuit patches from Buzz Aldrin's Gemini 12 spacesuit presented by the astronaut to his parents as a Christmas gift back in 1966 are estimated to sell for as much as $75,000 at a public auction tomorrow.
For what?
He's an American hero, Buzz Aldrin? Going to the
His
moon?
patches when he went to the moon?
Well, from some of the other missions also. This was from the Gemini 12 spacesuit.
Why don't you auction off all the travel tags from his luggage?
Oh, God. Stop it.
I really hate to say this because this helps your argument, Russ, but I found it interesting of all this stuff that they're going to be selling, all this space and flight stuff at this auction.
Yes.
On the list I saw, there's not one thing from Apollo 12.
That's probably in a museum.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying what?
Well, what are his patches from?
Gemini.
It's from the Gemini 12 spacesuit.
And they're also selling off some scoop from one of the Apollo where they picked up moon dust.
Yeah, they're also selling a bunch of stuff from Apollo 14 that was used to scoop up moon dust. That was back in 1971.
That's going to go for $300,000.
I tell you what.
Yes.
Not only will I get you some moon dust, I'll bring you back some shot glasses from Vegas.
We went to the moon. End of story.
Originally, when this started, I said it just to be obtuse. I don't think we did.
No,
not that.
Now, if you're being serious,
maybe later, but I don't think we went in. What was it, 69?
Yes.
I don't think we went then. You had the space race. You were trying to buy time against the Russians, so you faked that you went. Buy yourself a few more years, so when we went back, maybe we really did. But we didn't go with 60s technology.
Yeah, we did.
Tubes.
No, we did. We went. I understand that. They didn't fly with, like you think, the airliners today fly by wire and all the computers.
Tubes.
We flew like they fly airplanes.
Yeah, so we got a tube out. Can you land at a Radio Shack? At a 7-Eleven with those little testers.
God. No, we flew. It's like Lindbergh flying the trip he did.
That was on the ground. You weren't really worried about anything.
Well, you weren't
worried about running out of oxygen. If you felt a little confined, you stuck your head up.
It's still a navigational issue that we got to the moon. We got there. Men flew it. Man flew.
What does that have to do with
we went
navigation?
You don't need tubes. They flew it by hand. They flew
So why were all the computers on the craft?
Most of the computers ran a very few systems. Mostly it wasn't computer run. It was mostly.
So we just aimed at the moon.
Yes, just like we
separated
aimed at America from Europe.
That's not the same thing.
It's totally the same thing.
If you get lost in the ocean, you could go home. You don't have to worry about running out of fuel. You don't have to worry about anything. You got your sails. You got wind. You go back home.
No.
You run out of things up there. You die.
In the space, you always see the stars, and in the ocean, you don't. It's harder to navigate the ocean.
Well, the stars can be comforting, but if you're going and you, depending on just you and not computers, you ain't gonna make it.
We made it. We did it with a sextant and a map and the stars.
They used hang on. They use a sextant to go to the moon?
Well, you can use navigation. You can use a sextant to do navigation.
So you got a guy in a lunar module holding a sextant?
I believe they actually said he did have a sextant, yes.
And how were they keeping track at the time? Nice little abacus?
No. There's guys, that's part of the sailing courses for sailors today, is to learn how to use a sextant. Even now. That's still...
I'm not talking about sailing. I'm talking about leaving this planet.
Navigation.
Leaving the atmosphere, not knowing... Well, okay, we can see the moon. There's a bonus. At least we know where we're going. Go at that.
The big NASA finger pointing.
I go this way.
We went to the moon. Big finger of the sky.
Just floating in orbit. Moon this way.
God. Warner Brothers presents.
Do we need a break? Uh-huh. All right, we'll be back.
Show. Like nothing you've ever heard before. The Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
Down.
So the report's still the same? Is it Nowitzki?
Yes.
Is he still out for the season?
I don't know about season, but he's going to be out for quite a while.
The Mavs haven't given and I'm sorry to you returned.
That's all right, go ahead. I'm looking at you now.
Okay, cool.
Continue.
The Mavs haven't come out and given a definitive he's out for this period of time, but he's got two high ankle sprains and a knee sprain.
Should be a concern after the analysis I heard on KLLI coming into the station today.
And what was that again?
Told them just how to win.
The rest of the players need to play better.
Oh.
And they could still make it without Nowitzki.
Nowitzki.
Dirk.
What was it again? I'm going to write it down.
All the other players got to step up their game, and they could make it.
I'm going to use that on my pregame show.
Well, really, what do you get out of analysis?
Nothing.
Especially in press conferences. If they lost.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you need to do? We need to start winning. We need to hang on to the ball.
Control the ball.
Don't let the other guys have it.
Okay, right there.
And score. Really, you got two teams. We need to beat the other one. That's all they're saying, but it takes them a 2-minute sound clip.
You do the same thing.
We got to limit our turnovers, okay? Well, that goes with it. Don't screw up. Hang on to the ball. And then score when you got it.
Every sport's the same. NASCAR. What'd you do wrong out there today?
I didn't drive fast enough.
That would be funny. They don't do that. They always go, well, the Marshmallow Chevy Cheerios Ford.
I wasn't catching enough draft from him.
Yeah. There's some issues out there, so we need to tighten things up and change the tires and go. They spend more time giving out the sponsors than they do giving you an answer.
That's why they get paid a lot of money, because they're just non-stop salesmen. Even Eddie Gossage. I mean, anything to do with NASCAR, they are going to plug whatever they need to. You watch post-race, watch those guys. They have whatever soft drink their sponsor is, whether it's Coke or Pepsi or Mountain Dew. The camera gets on them. First thing you'll see,
them having a drink.
Label out.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, in advertising, they call that the claw?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like this Fresca. If I were going to hold it, even though you can't really, where the mouth hole is, you can't drink it and hold it that way. But you always hold it like that. That's called a claw. Now, if I were to try and drink it and hold it like this, no.
And the front.
Where'd it go?
Towel. Floor.
And that's why they always have bottles. All the drivers.
So the hole isn't on one side of the can.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Well, that makes more sense. Yeah, you can't do it with a can.
And they wear the caps.
Unless you want me to demonstrate again.
What? It was quite cute. No, and they wear the caps. It's funny. In the contracts, they have it down to the second how long they have to have each cap on.
Well, like if they win,
halfway into an interview, they'll change caps.
Sometimes they'll do that. But like you watch it in Victory Lane, and they're taking group pictures. They have people especially there because
just to hand them that. They have like the hat technician.
Exactly.
Take that one off. You've worn that one long enough. Take this one. With the Cheerio what?
Cheerio Marshmallow. What else was there?
Marshmallow Cheerio something Ford.
Yes, it was a Ford.
Marshmallow Chevy Cheerios Ford.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. So you didn't win again. Why? I didn't drive fast enough. Why wouldn't they just say that? I lost.
Because then it would actually be their fault. Whereas if you listen to them, what they'll say is,
"Oh, it's the car. It's the day.
We had a bad car today.
This track, these tires.
Tires didn't react well to the track. It was a lot of things.
We couldn't get it cranked down fast enough on the third turn.
What? Somebody drove faster.
That's all it is."
And they pay people. Take the players out of this, or the drivers, the analysts. They pay them to come back and tell me basically what I already know. You lost. You lost because you sucked. You didn't keep the ball. You give it to the other guys. They had it more than you. They played better than you.
Well,
two teams played.
Yeah.
One of them's got to win. Wasn't you?
And they'll find a way to fill 2-3 hours of pregame saying everything you just said, just however many different ways that they can.
They get sponsors. You got to fill the time.
Here are the weaknesses that this team has. Yeah, they're screwing up. They drop balls. They don't keep it long enough. They got turnovers. They suck. There.
Done. Back to you.
Yeah, we'll be back in a couple hours. The game starts. I didn't drive fast enough. You fool. And Trey's right. I guess they stretch these answers out, at least with NASCAR, just so you got TV time, you got FaceTime, and your sponsors your sponsors are all over your ass.
Mm-hmm. Your chest, your head, your...
I picked up 2 new sponsors. I had to gain weight so I could slip them on.
I'm going to spin around real quick. Read them.
Hang on, there's something behind me. I got to turn around and look. No, I guess I was wrong. Yeah. All right.
Shake it.
You get a shot in the back?
Yeah, we got it.
All right. What about my ass? All right.
When is the race? When is the one coming up at TMS?
2 weeks from yesterday.
Okay, 2 weeks.
All right. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay. A gun belonging to the pilot of a U.S. Airways plane discharged as the aircraft was on approach to land in North Carolina over the weekend, the first time a weapon issued under a federal program to arm pilots was fired. The accidental discharge Saturday aboard Flight 1536 from Denver to Charlotte did not pose a danger to the aircraft.
All right, I missed the first part of the story. I'm trying to decide whether or not to play the voicemail I got from Eddie Gossage, because there's a bit there, but there's a little overkill.
Okay.
It's about coming to the races.
Okay. We'll play it.
All right.
Hang on to that story, Dan, because I have a comment.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I knew that was going to happen.
It's 1.5 minutes long. I'll just play you a piece of it.
Okay.
Here we go.
Hey, Russ, this is Eddie Gossage out of Texas Motor Speedway. Appreciate you having me on last Friday to plug the upcoming Samsung 500 weekend out here at the Speedway.
See?
You mentioned you were interested in checking out the race. So I want to give you
So far, we're 13 seconds in. He's already plugged TMS, the date of the race, and mentioned Samsung. Is that where they get all their cash? I mean, really, the money they get from admission tickets, is that really almost not part of the equation?
Oh, no, it is. But client being happy is their number one deal. Sponsorship is their number one. Especially this year, they're having a tougher time getting cars fully sponsored.
Hey, Russ, this is Eddie Gossage out of Texas Motor Speedway. Appreciate you having me on last Friday to plug the upcoming Samsung 500 weekend out here at the Speedway. You mentioned you were interested in checking out the race. So I want to give you a kind of ultimate experience if you come out for the Samsung 500. I'm going to give you total access to the infield. That'll include, like a tour of the garage, so you can see the cars being prepared for the race. And I want to introduce you to some of my favorite drivers like Tony Stewart and Dale Jr. Yeah, you'll like this. You can be my VIP guest at the main stage and hang out with the Doobie Brothers before the race. They're doing a big pre-race concert. And then during the race, we'll have you up in one of the Speedway suites, plenty of food and your favorite beverages, if you know what I'm saying. And you don't have to worry about traffic, because if you want to join us for the champagne toast with the winner of the race in the Speedway Club, we can hang out there, too.
Are we due for another plug?
We might even have room for you in one of our pace cars during the race. So basically anything you want, you can get, because we'd love to have you, man. So just let us know. And listen, if JD wants to come, we'd love to have him as well. So tell him just to go to TexasMotorspeedway.com, or you can get his tickets there, or he can call our box office at 817-215-8500, and they'll be happy to sell him some tickets, too. So thanks, Russ. Look forward to hearing from you soon, man. Take it easy.
I did your commercials. You bag of piss.
Are you still doing spots for TMS?
Well, I do when the race comes around, yeah. I support them. I love TMS. I've been out there.
You're the one. The reason he's pissed is because you said we should go out and spray people at NASCAR races to sterilize them.
It was years ago, and it was a joke, and it was a bad one, and I've apologized. Well, when does this man not get off of it? And they still pay me to do the spots. And they're great. It's a great deal. I love the TMS. Love it. I go out there almost every year.
So why did you want to sterilize everybody?
I just was trying to be funny, and it wasn't funny.
Well, why'd you pick NASCAR?
Just a large group of people, open air.
Why wouldn't you pick something like curling? Safe, because it's not really an organized group to come get you.
I was just thinking of open air, large group of people, and there's a huge group of people. There's 500,000 or whatever that show up.
So you get more bang for your buck when you neuter them.
Oh, God. So I've said I'm sorry for that.
And so if you like NASCAR, if you're a big fan, you should be sterilized.
Are you going to jump on me? You want to lose your trailer?
You got a trailer?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Where'd you get a trailer?
I'd zip it. Mr. Free Trailer Boy.
Who's got a goddamn trailer?
He does. He has it from Funtime RV. They're giving him one for the weekend, the race weekend. He asked me, and I asked the guy I know over there, and they said, okay. But you don't want to jump on me right now.
Yeah, you're right.
But wait a week and a half.
I think NASCAR people should procreate as much as they want.
He's only getting it for a weekend, Dan.
I don't know. I don't have a trailer to lose, but I have a client to gain.
You whore.
NASCAR. Come if you got them.
Lovely.
I want that on a sticker.
F them if you got them?
Yeah. It just rolls off the tongue.
All right, go ahead.
All right. A gun belonging to the pilot of a U.S. Airways plane discharged as the aircraft was on approach to land in North Carolina over the weekend. The first time a weapon issued under a federal program to arm pilots was fired. The accidental discharge Saturday aboard Flight 1536 from Denver to Charlotte did not pose a danger to the aircraft or the 124 passengers, 2 pilots, and 3 flight attendants aboard. The firing is the first time a pilot's weapon has been fired on a plane under a program created after the September 11th terrorist attacks. Well,
all right, that's enough of the story.
What are you twisted about? It's just a matter of time until this is going to happen. And any of the opponents are going to come out and go, told you, not safe to have these guys up in the front flying airplanes with guns. Well, part of the problem.
How did it discharge?
Because I'll try to make this as short as possible. You have the gun in a case until you're ready to take off.
Got it.
Take it out and take the safety off. Okay, it's got a lock. It's got a lock.
I got it. A little lock box in the cockpit, and then as soon as you take off, then you take it out.
They were on approach, and he was putting it back. I'm sure this is what's going to end up happening. He was putting the safety back on. The safeties that they provided the pilots really almost have to push the trigger just a little bit to get them to work.
What kind of gun was this one? Does it say?
I don't know.
Because if it's a revolver, you're going to have to pull that pretty hard. If it's a Glock, Glocks are a little iffy. I don't like the safety with the Glocks because it's just a little side protection thing on the trigger, which is not where I would put a safety.
They're automatics, and I believe they're SIGs, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
And I'm sure on approach he was putting it back in the case, and that's what happened. And then the opponents are going to go, "Told you, pilots shouldn't have weapons."
And how many airplanes, pilots, flights have they had these weapons on?
Thousands.
If you go back and look at the stats, if you were testing something, a product, well, okay, it worked this many times, 99 point whatever. Okay, safe enough.
It failed once.
But you reverse it, and now you're right. The people that are against this, well, it was just a matter of time before somebody wigged out and started blowing the holes in the cabin.
He could have killed somebody. He could have killed the captain. It could have gone off and killed a passenger. It could have blown the hole in the windshield.
He could have killed a terrorist had the plane been hijacked.
Exactly.
To me, I'm going to feel safer about that, especially in this instance, because nobody got hurt.
10,000 flights at least with pilots having weapons. And, okay, this is going to happen occasionally. Very, very occasionally.
Do those guns have trigger locks in the cabins? Or in the cockpits?
I don't know. I truly don't know. I could ask somebody.
It's a lock box, and the gun's on safety. You take it out of the lock box, and once you're airborne.
It's got out of the lock box, and it has a trigger lock. Both.
That's what Dan just asked.
The answer is yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They have both.
Okay.
Just when it seems like the whole Elliot Spitzer fiasco can't get any weirder, it does. Apparently, even if the feds hadn't been keeping an eye on Spitzer's finances, chances are he'd still would have gotten busted for paying for sex. That's because Spitzer has a political enemy named Roger Stone, and he's been keeping tabs on Spitzer for years. He's a conservative political advisor who worked with President Bush, Bob Dole, Al Sharpton, and Donald Trump, and he detests Spitzer for the way he went after Wall Street when he was the DA. Last November, Stone sent a letter to the FBI accusing Spitzer of visiting escorts in Florida after a social contact in an adult-themed club tipped him off. Stone wrote that Spitzer paid literally tens of thousands of dollars on escorts, and he always requested brunettes, and he liked to keep his socks on during sex.
Just his socks?
That's what it sounds like.
Maybe he's got the fungus toe.
Digger.
Say it again.
Digger. Digger the dermatophyte.
Oh. Yeah. Maybe he's got that.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got a digger in his socks.
No, I don't think. Probably not. He's just a freak.
Well, why is wearing your socks that important?
They're just trying to bring out anything in the world that'll make this stranger and weirder. What was the rest of the story?
Well, what makes it keeps getting more bizarre is Roger Stone was actually involved in a sex scandal of his own. In '96, he was working as an advisor on Bob Dole's presidential campaign when the National Enquirer published scantily clad pictures of him and his wife, Nydia. Turns out they're swingers, and they had posted an ad looking for hot athletic couples and well-hung single men to swing with.
Now, do we know why this Roger Stone trade, do we know why Roger Stone doesn't like the Spitzers? Because I have a voicemail that was left for Spitzer's dad. It's just ugly.
It's from?
It's from the Roger Stone feller. It's 33.
All right. Do you know or not?
I think because of
That's
the way.
a yes or a no.
The story says because of the way he went after Wall Street.
Okay. And if you know that you've got at least one person that's watching your ass,
that hates you and wants to see you fall,
short of what was the Attorney General for the state, I'm sure you dealt with organized crime.
Oh, yeah.
There are going to be a lot of those people eyeballing your ass. Why is it you think you're going to be able to skate on this or fly under the radar without getting caught? Especially when you're shuffling money around, meeting chicks at hotels. Somebody's going to see you going in there.
Yeah, and you know that's how they catch people because you did it. I mean, you prosecuted people.
What kind?
33.
And this is a voicemail.
This is from the Roger Stone fella to Spitzer's dad about his son.
All right. Is there any reason why you keep referring to him as the Roger Stone fella? Is that his entire name?
No, just Roger Stone. I don't know who he is, so I'm just saying Roger Stone.
Do you think you sound more informed by saying the Roger Stone feller?
Yeah.
Because I don't know his title.
I don't know his official title.
This is a message for Bernard Spitzer. You will be subpoenaed to testify before the Senate Committee on Investigations on your shady campaign loans. You will be compelled by the Senate Sergeant at Arms. If you resist the subpoena, you will be arrested and brought to Albany. And there's not a god thing your phony, psycho piece of son can do about it. Bernie, your phony loans are about to catch up with you. You will be forced to tell the truth, and the fact that your son's a pathological liar will be known to all.
Who is this feller?
Pissed off guy. Roger Stone?
Yeah.
Is that it? Is there any more?
It turns out this guy's a swinger and is looking for hot studs to come have a three-way with his wife.
This guy that left the message?
Yeah, that was the rest of the story.
Oh, I thought it was Spitzer that was part of it.
No.
Spitzer just banging it. Why is the socks thing, why is that some type of fetish? I had sex over the weekend with goggles on.
Huh? Okay, why?
Sound bite.
No, Dan. Promo.
I was out doing yard work. Okay. I came inside. Amy was running around in her underwear. Went, okay, time for a little break.
Sure.
And I wear a thing over my mouth so my allergies don't act up again. I wear goggles so crap don't get in my eyes.
You couldn't take them off to have sex?
No.
You came in hot, sweaty, nasty with grass all over you and climbed on her?
I didn't just walk in there and slap her down.
I don't know what you do.
I just thought it was funny. Anybody wearing the goggles should have been her because I was all over the place.
Jesus, too much information.
No, I actually like this info. Keep going.
Because sometimes I like to withdraw and then spatter the area.
Well, sure. Make your mark.
Right. And because she wasn't wearing her goo blockers, somebody got it in the mug.
So you were wearing the goggles and she needed them.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Does that make her mad when you do that?
She doesn't normally ask for it.
Could you please pull out and spatter me?
Yeah. I would like it in my peepers this time, please. I'm far too bored getting in my clam. Plus, it don't burn down there.
In our defense, accidents can and do happen.
What an accident. Pulled out, then I started...
Finishing?
Yeah. Doing this. She knew what was coming. I'm not doing this because I'm making Land O'Lakes.
No, I can see that.
We need a break? All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. A show about everyday life where nothing is forbidden. The Russ Martin Show.
out love-making session.
But still, you're that lazy you couldn't take your goggles off?
They're not like the protective goggles that go over your glasses or welding goggles. It's the ones you swim in, the little Speedo goggles.
I know. What was the movie?
That's funnier.
I thought you knew that when I said it.
No, I figured you were talking about the goggles like you wear when you're doing yard work, the big clear ones.
No.
There's Speedo glasses?
Oh, yeah. And you know what's odd?
What?
Is
odder.
He looks really funny with those goggles on.
What was the movie with Michael Keaton where he makes copies of himself?
Multiplicity.
Yeah. Remember the fourth copy? I was walking around with those damn goggles on.
Yeah?
That's how you had to look.
Make any difference? She didn't have any problems with it. Plus, I ate her monkey. Steve.
Did you have a snorkel too?
What?
Did you have a snorkel too?
No, she doesn't have vaginosis.
Why am I the only person that when you said goggles, I immediately thought of the Speedo goggles?
I don't know. That's what I thought of because I was wearing them.
It's just not something you normally would wear.
Well, any other type of goggles, like the protective one when you're cutting or welding,
right?
That's still going to allow grass to get up in your eyes.
Well, yeah.
Because of my allergies, I'm not taking any chances when I'm doing yard work. So I'm wearing the Speedo goggles.
That's not odd to me because you have to keep in mind, JD, this is coming from the man that mows his grass at night while wearing a miner's helmet.
You have a point, yes.
It's not a helmet, it's just a light.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not ever since he got the night goggles. Have you ever done the night vision and mowed the yard?
What? No, it's too hard to... No.
You tried it. You knew you would.
On the riding mower? Uh-huh. Because you have two goggles over your eyes, you can see, but you have no depth perception.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. That's what you're saying, but you tried.
Yeah.
You're the oddest of the odd.
Why?
Mowing at night? Just mow during the day while the sun's out?
Well, sometimes I get drunk. I like to mow at night when I get home.
Mow again. Do you ever forget that you've mowed and go out and mow again?
At night.
That's what I thought.
What are you holding there?
Well, it just made me think of this. We found it earlier. Men's Health ran down a few reasons why frequent sex is great for your health. So you with the goggles made me think of this. 1 hour of foreplay can burn 118 calories for the average guy. If a guy has sex at least 8 times a month, his risk of prostate
You better come up with something better than 118 calories for an hour of foreplay.
I think they're just extending it out. I don't think they're expecting you to do that.
Love and connection with a human being and loving her and getting into the moment.
If the purpose of the story is to point out the health benefits, you better give me more than 118 calories to lick clam for an hour. Goggles or no.
I think they're talking about
You should go home. Do you have any of those Speedo goggles?
Yes, I do.
You should put those on and go home and look at Joyce. It's fun.
Make a point of it tonight.
Anyway, if a guy has sex at least 8 times a month, his risk of prostate cancer drops by 11%.
We're having sex, Steve.
When men have sex at least once a week, their bodies produce 30% higher levels of a chemical called immunoglobulin A.
What are you laughing at, Trey?
Just that image of you with goggles, some distorted sex face.
Yeah.
Probably drooling a little bit.
Take the damn goggles off.
Well, I thought you were wearing the mask, too.
What mask?
Did I not hear that?
No.
Oh, yeah, the painter's mask?
Yeah.
I took that off.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what a man.
You can't lick through that.
Oh, my bad. But you take the goggles off. It takes 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm. And I probably could have sold them to her for $50 right before I went.
Yeah, if I knew what was coming, here's a credit card. Take it.
Anyway, the immunoglobulin A boosts the ability of the immune system to fight off the flu and colds. And men who have sex at least twice a week reduce their risk of heart disease by 50%.
We were in the kitchen when we were having sex.
Okay.
Because I came in from the backyard. She was in her underwear. I went, you want to have sex? Well, it's going to take me a minute. We're standing by the fridge. I want to see what's in there. Mustard or something. Remember down here.
God. So romantic. You
little...
couldn't even walk her to the bedroom.
What did you just ask me?
Yeah, that didn't sound right coming out.
When was the last time you had sex in a bed?
This weekend.
Why?
Before she got sick.
Whose bed?
Mine. Because it was early in the morning. What you know?
I can't even visualize you having sex in a bed with all the other places you've had it. Are you going to give me grief for not walking into the bedroom just because I want to have a quickie in the kitchen?
Now that you say it, actually,
and she's not lubed up, so you pull out the Land O'Lakes and rub that little Indian woman down there.
You ain't lubed up, rub some butter on me, baby.
Well, I told her. She goes, well, it's going to take me a few minutes. I went, I'm going back to Mo. Either you want it or you don't. You open the fridge and get out some Land O'Lakes, or don't.
God, you're so... That's romantic. That's just amazing.
She enjoyed it.
Did she? Well, as long as you have fun.
Well, that's the secret of a long relationship. Is fun.
Oh, God.
Anything else before we go?
I have...
No, I like ending on spontaneity.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
All right. You ready, Chuck?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
All right. For more information about the Russ Martin Show, including pictures, videos, Land O'Lakes, and more, go to russmartin.com. To answer any question you may have about the show, go to russmartin.info. To instant email the show and only during the show, send that to studio@russmartin.com. Other show websites, johndavidryan.com, danantasos.com, djclo.com, treytrenholm.com, and for Chuck on the keyboards, chuckwheat.com. The official caterer of the Russ Martin Show is Sugar Babies Barbecue. Their website, sugarbabiesbbq.com. Limo service is provided by Limo George. His website, limogeorge.com. Russ gets his guitars and band equipment from the Guitar Center. Their website, guitarcenter.com. The official liquor store of the Russ Martin Show is Majestic Fine Wine and Spirits. Their website is majesticliquors.com. And Back in Black is at House of Blues on Saturday.
That was last Saturday.
Well, I hope they were good.
They were.
I sent you that email last Friday.
I didn't get it till after the show.
Oh. All right.
And the official site for Live 1053 is live1053.com.
All right. See you guys tomorrow.
See you.
Now listen to the Russ Martin Show anytime you want on the web at russmartin.info.
Russ Martin Show.